Now we will begin with the part 1, the MCQ part of the end of term exam. Please note, in this part I will do the direct and the shortest method possible. For the detailed method, please refer to the lesson explanations on the playlist. In these videos, I will try to do the shortest method possible. The question 1 is to know the precise definitions of circles and to find the radius, diameter and circumference. Here we have been told to refer the circle, and from the question 4 to 8, the circle. And we need to tell few basic details of them. What is the circle? Name of the circle, it's circle 0. Radii are lines originating from the center to the end of the circle. So it is OC, OD, OA, OB. And the chords. Chords are any line on a circle which has its endpoints on the circle. Say for example AB, both the endpoints are on the circle. CD. Not OA. Radiuses can't be chords, but the diameter can be chords. So here are the answers. Now this is the symbol of circle. You put a circle and a dot, it means this circle, and specifying that means this is the center of the circle. You can try this by yourselves. Pause the video and just try it out. The name of the circle is circle P over here, and then we have the radii PA, PB, PC, and the chords would be D, A, B, and the diameter would be only AB. And lastly, name the radius not drawn as a part of diameter. See, now this radius PA and PB are the diameters, are a part of diameter, whereas PC is not a part of the diameter. Here they have given us the dimensions of AB in this particular circle R. AB is known, that's 18 millimeters. What is the dimension of AR? AR is its radius. So the AB would be the diameter, the total length that is given. So half of that would be AR, that would be 9, and this would be 9. So you can just do 18 by 2 equals 9, or just looking at this figure, you can directly write the answer. Because this is MCQ part, you don't need to do any detailed methods. If Ry is equal to 10 inches, they have told Ry, this one, the radius. What is AR and AB? The first one over here, AR is the radius, they both are equal, so it will be 10. What about this is the radius, the diameter will be multiplied by 2. So it will be 20 here. That's how we solve it up. And these are the answers. Here AB is 20, but you should also find AR, which is 10. Now AB is congruent to XY. Let's say AB and XY, yes, they are congruent. That means they're equal. Why? Because they're diameters, right? Diameters of all these circles. Sorry, particular circles, diameters, all its diameters are equal. Okay? All diameters of the same circle are congruent or equal. Now suppose the radius of the circle is 3.5 yards. Okay? Find its diameter. Just multiply this by 2. 3.5 times 2 is 7. That would be the answer. Just multiplying by 2. Now if RT, look over here, the diameter RT from here to here is given 19. What is LW? The RT passes through the center, so it's the diameter. LW passes through the center to end of the circle, to any part of the circle, so it's a radius. So just divide D by 2, you will get radius. 19 by 2 is the answer. Look into your options. You might have the option of 19 by 2 itself, 19 by 2 meters. Otherwise, you need to write 9.5. When you put in the calculator and ST, it will be 9.5. Sometimes your options, right, will be in terms of fractions. So just be careful with that. And over here we have got LT is 4.2 inches. The radius is given. What's the diameter? Multiply this by 2. It's 8.4. That's it. Very straightforward problems, this one. Now we have a real life situation. A bicycle has tires with a diameter of 26 inches. Okay. Find the radius and circumference of each tire. So they have given the diameter equals 26. First find, they have told the radius, so just find the radius, that is D by 2, that's 13 directly. And now you can find the circumference. Circumference is given by 2 pi r, or you can use the formula pi times diameter. Any one of your choice. I would go with pi d because 2 times r, instead of doing an extra step, you can directly do pi d. It will be 26 times pi. That's the answer. Now here they have told nearest 100. You need to round it off. So use your calculators here. You will get pi if you press shift and over here, multiplication of 10 times power, right? This symbol. And then if you press equal to, you will get the same thing. But just press SD, you will get it. And now nearest 100. 100 has two zeros, isn't it? So 1, 2, two decimal points, 68. So you should write 81.68. That's the answer. And that's the end of this lesson. If you have any doubts, please post them in the comments. I'm sure this is one of the easiest topic. You won't have any doubts. Question 2 is to find angle measures using different properties of circles. Here we have been given a circle which one angle, is unknown. That is x degrees, but others are all known. So how do we find this? It's very simple. We know that sum of all the angles are 360 degree, right? So 360 minus 105 minus 60 minus 115 will give you the x angle. So that's it. Add them all up and subtract them from 360. You should get x degrees. You can directly do it in the calculator. And over here, they have not given all the three sides. One side is 120, one is x. What does this mean? This means it's a 90-degree angle over there. So we know the 120, 90, unknown x can be easily found out by subtracting these both from 360. You can see here the sum of central angles means adding all the angles equals 360. What I did was I've just taken this directly to the other side. Also, you can type this equation out directly in the calculator. 105 plus 60 plus 115 plus x equals, that is by alpha equal to, that's over here alpha calc, and x is by alpha and this over here, closing the bracket symbol. Now, don't press equal to, you will not get answer because you have used equation and variable. Press shift and solve and it will solve for x, and then press equal to, you will get the answer, that's 80 degrees. And similarly you can try the others. Here we have been given 42 and we have no clue what is x on the other side. But if you see, this is the diameter. They generally mention this. So this AC, right, this line is the diameter. So this is 180 degrees. You know, 180 plus 42, it's 222. You just do 360 minus that, you'll get the answer. You can see over here, that's the answer. Moving on to the next type of problems. Here we have been given a circle with many angles and we need to find the measure of arcs. And we have to tell whether they are major or minor arc. Now EA, you can see E and A, right? This is a minor arc because it's less than 180 degree. But here it's not just finding that, you need to even find the angle. Now whenever an arc is 180 degrees, it is a semicircle. But if it is more than 180 degree, if it's anything more than 180, it is a major arc. And whichever is less than 180, it's a minor arc. Now, how can you find the arc EA? To find arc EA, just find this angle, you will find it out. So how we can do it is, you know, AC is 180 degrees, isn't it? You have 130, what is this remaining? 130, 180 minus 130 will be 50. So it's a minor arc and 50 degrees. Same way, we will just find out all the angles. And what is this angle here? This is again, 180 minus 50 will be 130. You can also see this as vertically opposite. These both are vertically opposite angles. This is 130 vertically opposite angles. Various ways to solve it. Now the first one was 50 and it's minor. What about CB? You can see over here CB is this arc. That is 50 degrees already given over here. DC, where is DC? It's 100. It is minor arc as well. DEB, see DEB, it'll be 180 plus 30, it's 210. What about AB? AB, see now don't consider AB from the outer side. If they tell you DEB, then we have to go DEB, not directly DB. Now AB, the nearest distance is just this. Whereas if they are told AD, you don't go like this, you go direct to it. Okay, so AB would be the shorter distance, so it is a minor arc itself, 130. And CDA, that would be semicircle, 180 degrees. So that's the answers. And now we have over here a circle, and they have given us percentages. A survey asks students at Westwood High School their preferences for new school mascot. The results are shown in the circle graph. Find arc AB. Now they're just given as a percentage. Can you see this percentage is 20% here? Now 20% of a circle, 20% of a circle. What is the total degrees of a circle? It's 360, right? Just do this, you will get the answer. So here 20% would be divided by 100. Just use your calculator and you'll get it. It's over here 2 times 36. That'll be 72. 72 degrees is the answer. So that's it. Now I will show you how we can directly put this in the calculator. You can press 20 as it is, but then you have a symbol for percentage. Shift and this symbol over here gives you percent multiplied by 360. Just find the answer and then select the correct option from the given options. Same way over here you can do AD. They have told AD, that is 30% times 360, and that's the answer, 108 degrees. Now we have another problem where they have given some details. PR and QT are the diameters. Now we need to find these measures. What is UPQ? UPQ is this. It's 90 plus 40, 130. Same way do the others. I'll do one more. Say I'll do the last one. PR. See now PRU. Don't go like this because they have told you. So we have to go like this. PRU. Now we know the total circle is 360 minus the remaining part 40, so it must be 320 here. All the others are very straightforward. The answers are simple. So please do try them by yourselves and then check the answers. 360 minus 40 is 320. That's the end of this topic. Know the basics of the circle and then you can easily solve it up. If you're stuck anyway, if you're getting confused, ask your doubts in the comments and I'll get back to you very soon. The question 3 is to use the relationship between the parts of the circle and solve the problems. Here we have been told to solve for the x value. Now, how do we start? Here there is only x and then 64. We have no idea about the other side. But they have told this chord and this chord are equal. And if you recall, there's a theorem that states if these chords are equal, then the arcs generated by them are equal. So this chord, this is the angle, right? And here this angle is also x then, because they must be congruent to each other. Now then, if we equated x plus this angle 64 degrees must be equal to 360. Now use the calculator and solve. Here I have typed this as it is in the calculator. You just press shift and solve and press equal to, then you get the answer. It's 148. That's the answer. Here they have told to find x, but they have not given us the any measure of this angle or other angles. But we know these both are equal. That means this angle is also 116 degrees. Then since it's the central angle is whatever the arc's angle. See, this arc is 116. That means this is also 116 degrees. They're equal. So it's basically 116 degrees itself. So that's how we solve it. Very straightforward problems. Now, what about these ones? Please try to solve them by yourselves and then watch the explanations. Here we have been told this is 82 degrees and this is 4, the dimension of this chord. And here also the chord is 4, and if we have congruent chords, the angles will be equal. X must be 82 here. And over here we have 9, 9. So this is x, 90, and the remaining one must be x itself. Just like how we have done over here, we have to do x plus x, because this is 1 x degrees plus 90 must be equal to the whole circle angle, that is 360 degrees. I will just change this over here to 90, and all you do is shift and solve. If you press equal to, you'll get an error, syntax error, because you can't solve it. Shift and solve, and then this is not the answer. Press equal to. Now you get the correct answer. It's 135. So that's how we solve these. Now here, looking at these problems, you can easily equate this angle to this equation. Now here as well, since we know these arcs are equal, so these both must be equal. You can type it out in the calculator as it is. 2 alpha x gives you x variable plus 4 must be equal to, by alpha and calc, that is 18. Shift and solve, the x value is 7 here. Now to solve the next question, here they have told this arc and this arc is equal. Now can you just equate 2x plus 1 equals 115? Let's try that. 2x plus 1 is equal to, sorry, it's 1 equals 115. Now if I press shift and solve, I'm going to get this answer. But please remember, this is a wrong answer. Why it's not possible? Now, if this length was told to be some value, say phi, we can just equate it, right? But why we can't equate the angle and this? Look, here the angle is in degrees and this is in, say, length dimension. They're not exactly the same concept, same dimensions, right? So we cannot equate it. If it was length of measure of this line, then yes. But don't equate this, the dimension of this length to the arc angle. No, we can't do it. But what we can do is we can equate JH and HI. The reason I told that is sometimes if students just equate these two, you will get an answer, but that's a wrong answer. But here equate JH and HI, the chords. That is 2x plus 1 equals phi x minus phi. And now if you press shift and solve, you'll get the answer 2. X value is 2. Here for this question as well, it's just the same. The chords are given. Just equate these two equations and you can solve it up. Here you can see. Equate the equation, solve it. Now, here they have told these two circles are congruent. And then they have told this arc from this chord and this arc is equal, right? So just equate these both because they are congruent circles and you will get the answer equating them. Now here in this question, they have told angle circle V and circle W are congruent. And this chord is given and this is the angle 162. But what about this angle? It's not mentioned. So first find the measure of this angle, that is 360 minus 198. It will be 60 plus 2 and 100 is there, 162 degrees. Now we know this is also 162. Now we can equate these both. If it was not the same, then no, it was not possible to equate it. So please keep that in mind. In this case, yes, we can equate, but first you need to find the angle and then equate it up. Now we move to a little bit different types of problem. Here they have told PQ, this is the distance, the radius is given, and RS. RS is not the diameter, this is just a chord, is 24. We need to find the measures. Okay, let's do this. What is RT? RT is this. So how would you solve it? We know RS, the total length, is 24. And this radius is cutting at 90 degrees. It will cut this into congruent parts or equal parts. It bisects it. So it is 24 divided by 2. That will be 2R over here. That is RT. So that's it. Very simple. Now what about PT? Let's do this one. PT is, okay, this distance is required. Now this is interesting because you can't directly solve it. PT is over here. We know RT and we know PQ. So what I'll do is I'll just connect a line from here to here. If I draw a straight line, then this is 90 degrees, isn't it? Because that is 90. We have Pythagoras theorem. Now I know Pythagoras theorem is RP square equals RT square plus PT square. Now I can just substitute the known values. This is same as the radius value. What is it? PQ is 13, so this is also 13. What about RT? We just now found out it's 2R, and now just substitute over here. 13 square equals 2R square plus PT square. Now this is a Pythagorean triplet. If you remember, phi, 2R, 13 are a Pythagorean triplet. So hypotenuse is 13 square. This is 2R square. This is phi square. The answer will be phi. But otherwise, you can just solve this in calculator. You will get the answer phi. What about TQ? TQ is very simple. We know the radius is 13. 13 minus PT we just now solved. That will be the answer. 13 minus phi is 8. And here again similar problems, but this time we have to find the measure of arc, DE. Now DE would be, this is important, We need to know what they have given. They have given CD, the entire arc is 90 degrees. If this entire arc is 90-degree, since this is a radius or diameter is cutting and there's 90 degrees, now they are equally cut. What I mean is, this particular arc, right, will be bisected by this line. Bisect means 90 becomes half. This is 45, this is 45. So from CD, which was given as 90 divided by 2, that means it's 45, measure of angle DE. So this will be half of 90. And what is FD? FD is this length, see this one. Now, what do we know? We know EB value, the diameter is 12. We know CD, the entire CD is 8. And we want FD, this half of it will be FD. So just do half of 8, that will be 4 here. And AF, now AF is this, we can just do the similar method what we did a while ago, Pythagoras theorem method, and solve it up. So that's how we solve these. And here we have a real situation problem. For security purposes, a jewelry company prints a hidden watermark on the logo of its official documents. The watermark is a chord located 0.7 centimeter away from the center of the circular ring. So now let's just draw a circular ring and imagine this is the center. 0.7 centimeter, zero point 0.7 away is a chord. Okay. This circular ring as a radius, the radius over here from the center to this R is 2.5. To the nearest tenth, what is the length of the chord? Now we need to find the length of this chord. But first we need to find at least half this distance and then we can find the full. So what I'll do is, we did the Pythagoras theorem thing, right? So this is how much? Radius 2.5, this is 0.7. So let's draw it. I will just do from the center to here, it was 0.7. And then this is the radius and this is the big chord, right? So here it's 2.5. We will find half of the chord and this is the circle. Okay, that's the extra part, just ignore it. So what we do is 2.5 square equals 0.7 square plus x square. Now this x, let's find it out directly in calculator. Now you can type it out directly. 2.5 square equals 0.7 square plus x square. Shift and solve, make it equal to, you get 2.4. Now they told nearest tenth, and that is nearest tenth itself. So it's okay. Now I forgot. 2.4 is the x value. What did they ask? It's not that. They have asked you the length of the chord. Please don't make the mistake I just now made. We got 2.4, that is this distance. Just half of the chord. Multiplied by 2. Again over here there's 2.4. So that is 4.8. That is the answer. 4.8 centimeters is the length of the chord. That's the end of this topic. Please do solve more and more problems by yourselves, or at least solve the given questions in the EoT by yourselves. And if you have any doubts, post them in the comments. The question 4 is relationships between inscribed angles. Here we have a set of different problems. The first type begins with a simple one. Finding measure of arc AC. Here we can see the angle B is inscribed. How do we find this measure of arc AC? There's a simple formula. Whenever we have an inscribed angle, this arc is twice than this of inscribed angle, or this inscribed angle is half of this arc. So I will write over here the measure of angle B is equal to half of the measure of arc AC. So this is the arc. That's it. And now we need to find the arc AC. So take this 2 to the other side. It will be 2 times the measure of arc angle B. That is 36. So that is the measure of arc AC. We get over here as 72 degrees. That would be the answer. You can see that's the answer, 72. Here they have asked to measure the angle N. We have this arc. So the inscribed angle will be half of this arc. So it's 62 divided by 231 would be the answer. Very straightforward problems. Please solve them by yourselves. Here, one important thing, if it was a central angle, now imagine this was the angle, then this and this are equal. We have done it in the previous problems, but now it's inscribed angle. It's inscribed on any part of the circle. So that's why we take it as half. And then we can easily solve it up. Over here also it's the same thing, QSR. It'll be half of, sorry, 2 times of 113 degrees. And this is 23, so this will be 2 times 23, 46 would be the answer. Try these by yourselves and then check for the answers. Everything is solved up over here. Now this one, how exactly would you do it? Here they have told this arc is 120, this is 140. So what is this one? You can add these up and minus it from 360 degrees. Total is 360 degree in a circle. Minus 120 minus 140. It'll be 260. So 100 is remaining. So this one over here is 100. But that arc is 100. So what is the measure of angle R? Half of 100 is 50 degrees. So that is how we can solve it up. And now we need to find the measure of angle N. This is a little different type of question. Here this is needed to be solved. And we know a few of the angles, but look at these sides. See, this is the inscribed and this is inscribed. Where does it touch? P and L. And even over here we know it's having the same point. So that means angle M and N are equal. Now we know M is how much? 3y plus 8. That is equal to 6y minus 1. So solve for y. So it will be take 3y to the other side and this minus 1 to the other side. It will be 8 plus 1 equals 6y minus 3y. You will have 9 is equal to 3y. Y is equal to 3. So measure of y is 3. So it will be 3 times 3 plus 8. It's 9 plus 8 over here. It will be 17. So measure of angle N is 17 degrees. That's the answer. Same way, please do solve for the other angles, just how we have done. Over here, L and P are congruent and you can equate them and solve it up. Here we have a different figure, but the concept remains the same. Look which is inscribed. This angle is inscribed and which is it equal to? Angle D, because D is also having the same ends. So then just equate it up and solve it up. Even with A and B are congruent to each other. Now we have paragraph proofs. Now this is a MCQ part. Your questions must be in MCQs. You will have options. So I'm not sure how exactly they'll ask this, but anyways, we'll go through this. They have given us measure of angle T. This one is half of measure of angle S. Okay. And we need to prove TUR is equal to 2 times the measure of URS. Now from inscribed angle theorem, we can say the measure of angle S is equal to what? This much, right? So we know, sorry, angle S is equal to not equal half of TUR. This much I can write, arc TUR. And what about angle T? T is equal to angle T, measure of angle T is half of URS, arc. And they have already given us measure of angle T is half of measure of angle S. So we can substitute these two over here because we know the relationship of S from inscribed angles and T, the values. So substitute in the given. So what's going to happen is measure of angle T over here, it will be half URS is equal to, what is the measure of angle S? It is again half, already there is half, multiplied by half TUR. Now let's multiply throughout by 2. So what happens is this half cancels out if you multiply throughout by 2. So it will be URS arc is equal to half. See 1, 2 and this cancels and this also cancels. You're remaining with half TUR. Is this the... No, now over here they have asked you for value of TUR. So multiply again by 2 or you can multiply in the first attempt by 4. Sorry. Now we have to multiply 2 because we already did 2. You will have 2 URS is equal to TUR. The arc TUR, measure of arc TUR is equal to 2 times 2 measure of URS. This is the proof. Very simple proof. You need to know the inscribed angle formula for these angles, S and T. Substitute them in the given. Say the given is already there, and then simplify it. Here, the detailed explanation is available as well. And what about this one over here? Now they have told prove measure of KML and MJMH are similar. See, this is similar symbol. Now we can easily prove one of the angles are equal. Oh no, we can easily do this. See, this is one triangle and this is one more triangle, right? We have to prove just similarity. You know, the AA similarity is very simple. Angle similarity. Let's do that. I can tell this angle is equal to this angle. Why? Because they are vertically opposite. And now look at H. That's inscribing this arc, isn't it? And what about L? It's inscribing the same arc. So angle L must be equal to angle H. They both are congruent. So I've got two angles congruent, therefore they are similar. So I can tell this is proved. If I just prove any two angles equal, then this is proved. So that's what is done over here. They have given it's a circle and inscribed angles have been intercepting the same arc, that is H and L, and we know vertical angles, that is measure of angle M from KML and JMH, and therefore from A similarity we have proved it. Try to remember the concept and the formula of the inscribed angles, and then you can easily solve these problems. The question 5 is the relationships between the central angle, the circumscribed angles, and we solve for the perimeters and other values. Here we have been given some figures. You can see this is the central angle and these are two tangents, so it's 90 degree. What we need to solve is measure of BDC is given over here. This angle is 12x. The measure of angle A is also given to be 4x plus 4. And what is the measure of angle A? Now here these two opposite angles are, when you sum them, will be equal to 180 degrees. So you can just do 12x plus 4x plus 4 is equal to 180 degree. Directly put this in the calculator, you will get the answer. Or you can do it 16x equals 176. Just divide 16 both the sides. You will get the answer. You can see here. So that's how we easily solve it up. 11 is the answer. Now what about this? The same thing. They have given you the angle P, that is 15x plus 8, and angle R is 10x minus 3. Add them up and they will be equal to 180 degree. So the answer over here would be, okay, I forgot to tell you the measure of angle A is not found out. We just found out x. So x is 11. They have asked to find the measure of angle A. So put this 11 back over here. So it'll be 4 times 11 plus 4. 44 plus 4 is 48. Same way over here. Add this and this, that must be equal to 180 degrees. You can directly put this in the calculator. You will get this x is equal to 8. By pressing alpha x, you can substitute in the calculator. Next, what you do is, you have to just substitute this back and find the required angle. So it is 10 times 7 minus 3. 70 minus 3 is 67. So that's why it's 67 degrees. That's how we can easily solve them. Now here we have circumscribed angles. Here a polygon is circumscribed around a circle and they have asked to find the perimeter of each polygon. Now this polygon is circumscribed around a circle, so there are certain properties it must follow. Now if this part over here till this middle, it's 13, then from here to here it will be equal. They are congruent lines because it's the tangents. 13 over here also will be 17, 10. Add up all the sides, that will be your polygon. Over here we have 3, so this is 3. 1 is there, over here it will be 1. See, till over here it's 3, this part is 1. 6, 6, and 2, and 2. So add them up, you will get the answer. It's 12, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 24 over here. Same way you can do the others. So these are the answers. Here it's 2 and 2, 4 and 4, 6 and 6. Just count them out, put in the calculator any method, you will get the answers. What about these problems? Here, again, we need to find the perimeter, but they have also given an x value, unknown value. So what you can do is, we know this is 18. This is 18 over here. 18, sorry. This is x, so this is x. we can tell 18 plus x is equal to 26. So x is how much? X is basically 26 minus this part, minus this line, 18. So that will be your answer. Here we'll get 8. And then what about the perimeter? Now we know this is 8, 8, 18, 18, 14, 14. Same thing over here. This much is 8 and this is 2x. So 8 equals 2x. So x is equal to 4. And then we know the entire side is 16 here and this is also 16. Here we know this is a square, right? So you can use the square perimeter formula. It's 4 times side. 4 times 16, it'll be 64. So this is the perimeter. You can use the formula or you can add them all up. That's also fine, okay? So that's the answer. Over here they have done, anyways, they have just done 8 by 8 because they have counted 8 eights are there, but the easier way is the perimeter formula. If you don't know the formula, just add them up. So that's how we easily solve these problems. And here please try it by yourselves and then look for the video explanation. 8 is given as so much. This is x plus 2. So x plus 2 equals 8. It will be x is equal to 6. Now just add up all these sides. This is 9 and 9, 5 and 5, 8 and 8, 4 and 4. If you add them all up, or you can just do 8 times 2 plus 2 times 4 plus 9 times 2 plus 5 times 5. That will be the answers. This is a very easy topic. I hope you have understood it well. If you have any doubts, please post them in the comments and I'll try to get back to you very soon. Let us learn about the fundamental counting principle. Fundamental counting principle helps us to know the sample space or the total possibilities of a certain condition. Now here we have a video game which will let you decorate a bedroom. Here there are so many categories, isn't it? There are 6 categories here and each category has different number of choices. Now, what are the total possible choices that you can do, like a unique choice? Say one different type of paint color, one different type of comforter set, and like this, everything uniquely. How many times can you do? How many different bedrooms can you decorate? So this is easily done by multiplying all of them. When you multiply them, you get the total possible outcomes. That is the fundamental counting principle. Now here all you need is a calculator and multiply. Here in this question, a cafeteria meal at Angela's work includes one choice for each category. The same thing, there are different choices, right? All you need to do is multiply them up and you will get the answers. On a website showcasing outdoor patio plants, there are 4 types of stones, 3 types of edging, 5 dining sets and 6 grills. Kamal plans to order one item for each category. How many different patio sets can Kamal order? All he needs to do is multiply all the different types or different categories. That is 4 times 3 times 5 times 6. That would be the answer. The drama club held tryouts for 6 roles in a one-act play. 5 people auditioned for the lead female, 3 for the lead male, 8 for the best friend, 4 for the mother, 2 for the father, and 3 for the humorous aunt. How many different casts can be created from those auditioned? Again, now don't multiply the 6 roles. Just start from multiplying the number of people. This is the number of roles, categories that are there. You need to multiply 5, 3, 8, and so on. So it's 5, 3, 8, 4, 2, and 3. Here we have a spinner which is used in a board game. If the spinner is spun 4 times, how many different possible outcomes are there? Now, what are the total possibilities when you spin 1 time this particular spinner? There are 6 outcomes, right? So it's 6. Now again you're going to spin it. It's going to be 6. Again spinning. 4th time also it's 6. So 6 to the power 4 would be the answer. Just multiply this 4 times, you'll get the answer. That's 1296. In a city basketball league, there must be a minimum of 14 players on a team's roster. One 14-player team has 3 centers, 4 power forwards, 2 small forwards, 3 shooting guards, and the rest of the players are point guards. How many different 5-player teams are possible in one player if one player is selected from each position? Now you need to understand here they have told it's 14-player team. So don't go to multiply 14. We need to know how many different different category players are possible, the total possible outcome. Now here don't multiply. There are total 14. So there are 3 centers, 4 power forwards, 2 small forwards, 3 shooting guards, and the rest of the players are point guards. Now, here they have not told all the numbers. So, this is out of 14, we know 3 minus 4 minus 2 minus 3. So we have 7, 10, 12. 14 minus 12 would be 2. So there are 2 people remaining, right? Rest of the players, they are the point guards. So you have to just multiply all these numbers. And this 2 is found out by subtracting the given numbers from the total number of players, that's 14. So this is how we do it. And just by multiplying that, you will get the answer. Angelica is comparing vacation prices in Boulder, Colorado. This is the same place. Boulder is in Colorado itself. And Sarasota in Florida. In Boulder, she can choose a 1 week or 2 week stay in a 1 or 2 bedroom suite. In Sarasota, she can choose 1, 2, 3 week stay or 2 or 3 bedroom suite. So on the beach or not, even there's option of beach or not. So how many outcomes are there in Boulder? Let's do Boulder first. Boulder is having 2 week choices for the week stay and 2 bedrooms. It's just 4. That's it. What about Sarasota? Here there is 3 week options. There is 2 bedroom options, and you can either choose a beach or not. So there are 2 options over there as well. 3 times 2 times 2. So this is 4. What about this? 6 times 2 is 12. So the total possible outcomes for the booking the vacation is total 16. 12 plus 4 is 16. So that would be the method to solve this. Boulder do it separately. Sarasota also do it separately. That's 12. And then add them up. You will get the total possible outcomes. Morris packs suits, shirts, and ties that can be mixed and matched. Uses packing lists to draw a tree diagram to represent the sample space for possible suit combination using one article from each category. Now let's look at this. The suits, number of suits. Now this is not to be added. It's gray, black, and khaki. Here shirts, white and light blue. Ties, striped or optional. That means you can have a tie or no tie. There are 2 over here, white and light blue, gray, black, and khaki. So we have to put the colors first, the suits first, G, B, and K. Then we have 2 options each ways, that is WB, WB, and WB. Over here, there is again 2 options, tie, no tie, 2 options, tie, no tie, tie, no tie. So it's again no tie. Again, we have tie, no tie, and lastly tie and no tie. Now this is a rough tree diagram. Over here, if you see GWT is one possible outcome. Then there is GWNT, GBT, GBNT. So these are all the possibilities, okay? So they have asked you to find all the possible outcomes. So you can see with the suit there is 3, shirt there is again 2 for each category, and then tie also there's 2 categories for each, and then you write out all the possible outcomes. Here we have that Tala wears a school uniform that consists of a skirt or pants, a white shirt, a blue jacket or sweater, white socks, and black shoes. She has 3 pairs of pants, 3 skirts, 6 white shirts, 2 jackets, 2 sweaters, 6 pairs of white socks, and 3 pairs of black shoes. Now, here, if you look carefully, they have told skirt or pant, then white shirt, jacket or sweater. This is important because we cannot multiply the number of skirts and pants like this. No, this would be wrong because it's or, clearly mentioned or. So you need to add them up. So basically, or is always adding and is multiplication, right? So what you can do over here is skirts or pants, take them as one category. Pants is 3, skirts is also 3. Multiply it with number of shirts. Then multiply it with jackets or sweaters. So it is 2 plus 2. Then multiply it with white socks and black socks, they have told. So multiply it with 3. So these are all the possibilities. Here they have not told white socks or black socks. They have told and, so you need to multiply. See over here, only the skirt and the sweater and jackets, skirt and pants, sweater and jackets are to be added. Everything else, it will be 3 plus 3 is 6 times 6 times 4 times 6 times 3. That is the possibility. Here it's the same thing. They have given the details about a sandwich shop, and what you need to do is find all the total possibilities, choices they can have from bread, meat, and cheeses. It'll be 3, 4, and 5 over here. So that would be the answer, 3 times 4 times 5. Here we have another interesting problem. List 6 different expressions that could be used to evaluate the area of the composite figure. Now here you need to find the area. Area can be found out by this adding up all these different polygons, right? This is a rectangle, over here another rectangle, like that. You can find it by adding up all the polygons, isn't it? So you need to find different ways, 6 different ways. So one would be like this. You can do many. I'll just show you how. You can consider this as a polygon, this separately. That's one possibility. Or you can consider that one like this. You can chop this up, or you can make this, like this. Various ways. It's just see, this is one possibility. Over here there's another. See, all these are different possibilities. I'm not exactly sure how this will be asked in the MCQ, but anyways, these are the possibilities to know, and these are the different ways. You can just add them up by multiplying the polygons, finding the area of each polygon and summing them up. That would be the area of this figure. Here we have another problem about license plates. One state requires license plates to consist of 3 letters followed by 3 numbers. The letter O and the number 0 may not be used, but any other combination of letters or numbers is allowed. How many different license plates can be created? Okay. Now, how many letters are they? They want 3 letters and 3 numbers. So total letters in English language is 26. But they cannot use O. So A to Z, but O is excluded. So -1, it's 25 here. Same thing with numbers, 0 to 9. There are 10 numbers. But here we have to exclude 0. So it will be 10 numbers in total. 10 minus 1 will be 9. Why it's 10 numbers? Because 0 is also included. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? It will be 10 minus 1. There are 3 letters, so it will be 25 times 25 times again 25. 3 times 25. And what about the numbers? It's 9. So multiply. These are all the possibilities for letters, and then there is possibility 9 times 9 times 9 for the letters. So if you multiply that, you'll get the possible answers. So there can be nearly 11.4 million different license plates possible from this combination. Jack has been offered a number of internships that could occur in 3 different months, in 3 different departments, and for 3 different companies. Jack is only available to complete his internship in July. How many different outcomes are there for his internship? So now here, the thing is 3 different months, it is possible, but he is only there for 1 month. So this will not be used. 3 won't be used. It's 1 multiplied by 4 times 3. So we have to just multiply all the possibilities. 1 times 4 times 3, or 1 times 3. See, it's July only. That's therefore month becomes only 1. Departments are 3. Sorry, the companies are 3, departments are 4. The answer is 12. And that's the end of this topic. Please try to solve each of these questions by yourselves, and if you have any doubts, please post them in the comments. In this video, we will learn how to find probability of a complement. Here we have to determine the probability of certain conditions, but the probability is of not getting certain thing. See, now if we read this problem, what is the probability of drawing a card from a standard deck and not getting a spade? In such cases, do normal probability of getting a spade and subtract it from 1. So now, how many cards are there in total? A standard deck will always have 52 cards, and not getting a spade. Spade, how many spades are there? It is 13 spades. Spade is a suit. It is something like this. This is the suit. And there is clubs, hearts, and diamonds, right? So 13 spades. Each suit is of 13 cards. Total cards is 15. This is the probability of getting a spade. But we do not want a spade, so just subtract it by 1. This is the probability of a complement. So that would be the answer. You can just put in the calculator. It's 1 minus 1/4, because 13 by 52 is 1/4. And we have 3/4. That is 75%. Now, you can just multiply here by 100 and you will get it in terms of percent. You will get 75 as the answer, 75%. So this is the answer over here, 0.75. So this is how we solve these problems. Just find the probability of that thing and then subtract from 1. Now we will do more problems. What is the probability of flipping a coin and not landing on tail? This is very simple because we know head or tail is just 50%. So not getting also will be 1 minus 50% is 50% itself, half. This is easy. You will have to write in terms of fraction or decimal, 0.5. If it's percentage, just multiply 100 to this. 13th one over here is Carmela purchased 10 raffle tickets. If 250 were sold, what is the probability that one of Carmela's ticket will not be drawn? Here she has bought how many? 10. Let's see what's the probability of her winning. Divided by total 250. Just do 1 minus that. That's it. Find the probability because we know it's 10 out of 250. But we have to find not. That's the complement not being drawn. So 1 minus. That'll be the answer. Here they have asked us to find the probability of spinning a spinner numbered from 1 to 6 and not landing on 5. So there are 6 total possibilities. We don't want it to land on 5. So what is the probability of landing on 5? It's only 1 out of 6 because 5 is just a single number. So 1 minus 1 by 6. That will be the answer. You can write the formulas. That's probability of complement A equals 1 minus probability of A. Here we have been told a survey found that 90% of junior class is right-handed. If one junior is chosen at random out of 100 juniors, what is the probability that she is left-handed? Now here 90% are right-handed, so obviously 10% will be left-handed. So answer is 10%. You don't need to solve this exactly because you know it's direct, so you can directly tell it. Percentage we are finding, so it's 10%. Roll bought 24 raffle tickets out of 1,545 tickets sold. So he has bought 24 out of so many. What is the probability that he won't win? He won't win is 1 minus 24 by 1545. That's the answer. At Riverview High School, 120 students were asked whether they prefer a lion or a timber wolf as the new school mascot. What is the probability that a randomly selected student will have voted for lion as the new school mascot? Now it's not it's not complement probability. They've asked for lion, so don't do 1 minus here. It will just be 78 out of the total. Total is 120, so it's 78 by 20. 120, sorry. 78 by 120 is the answer. Again, all these are very easy. In Evans' senior class of 240 students, 85% are planning to attend the college after graduation. What is the probability that a senior chosen at random is not planning to attend college after graduation? You don't even need to solve anything. 85% are planning to attend, so 15 are not planning. The answer will be 0.15 or 3 by 20. That's 15%. You don't need to solve all this because this is an MCQ, so directly you can write these answers. Now the Venn diagram shows the cast members who are in acts 1 and 2 of a school play. One of the students will be chosen at random to attend a statewide performing arts conference. Let A be the event that a cast member is in act 1 and let B be the event that the cast member is in act 2 of the play. So you can see over here act 1, all these, act 2, this much. You can see there are 2 overlapping, that is Amy and Alex. They are in both. Find A intersection B, that is Amy and Alex. They are the answers, A and B, Amy and Alex. Now next one, what is the probability that the student who is chosen to attend the conference is a cast member in only one of the 2 acts of the play? Now here, other than Amy and Alex, all are only in single act. So Kate, Paige, Brad and Garrett are only in act 1, whereas Tyron, Walter and Fran are only in act 2. So you can just count these numbers. It's 7 by total number is 9. So that's the answer. Or you can do one more thing. We know Amy and Alex are in both. So 1 minus 2 by 9 would be the answer. That would be 7 by 9. Both are the same answers. You can see the answer over here. It's 7 by 9. 7 are only in one single act divided by the total number. Larry is playing a game that uses a spinner. What is the probability that the spinner will land on a prime number on a next spin? So we need to see which are all the prime numbers here. 29, it's a prime number. 53 is a prime number. 47 is a prime number. 19 is a prime number. 37 is also a prime number. 23 is also a prime number. 40. Okay, all are the prime numbers over here. So basically, it's 100%, No matter what you spin, you will land on a prime number. So the probability is 100% or 1. It's 7 by 7 because all are prime numbers divided by the total numbers. 7 by 7. That's how we solve it. This is an easy one. It's just the complement of probability. Remember, if there is too many things to do, just do 1 minus that probability. It's easy. Otherwise, read and interpret the problem and directly answer it out. In this video, we will learn how to use the addition rule of probability to events which are mutually exclusive and not mutually exclusive. Here we have been told, suppose you pull a card from a standard 52 card deck. Now, an important note, even if they don't mention it's a 52 card deck, you must know that for a standard card, it's only 52 cards. The jokers are not included. Find the probability of these events now. The card is 4. Imagine you're pulling out a 4 out of 52 cards, out of a standard deck. We know that there are 4 suits in a standard deck of cards. They are the clubs, the heartens, the spades, and the diamonds. Now, 4 would be 4 types of 4s. So there are 4 cards which are 4, So that is the desired outcome. And what is the total outcome? It's 52. That's the probability here. What is the probability the card is red? Half of the cards are red because there are 2 red suits. So it will be 26 out of 52. And the card is a face card. Now, what are face cards? Face cards are also called as picture cards. They are the Jack, Queen, and King. So here there are 3 cards in each suit. So 3 times 4 would be 12. So there are 12 face cards divided by 52. The card is not a face card. So this can be done in different ways. You can do 1 minus 12 by 52. We have done the not probability, the complement probability just a while ago in the previous video. Question number 7, that is. Now here you can do this, or you can just count out which are non-face cards. They are basically 1 to 10. Even the ace is also a non-face card, okay? So here 10 in each suit. So it will be 40 by 52. Even if you solve this, it's going to be the same. So these are the probabilities for these questions. 4 by 52. Put it in the calculator and you'll get the answer. 26 by 52, 12 by 52, and lastly 40 by 52. Now we will see about the mutually exclusive and not mutually exclusive events. Here, probability that a card drawn is a queen or hearts. Now, can this be a same card? Like, do you have a card which is a queen and a heart? Yes. If that is the case, then this is not mutually exclusive. If the given events are not mutually exclusive, then the probability formula would be probability of A plus probability of B minus probability of A intersection B. What does this mean? This means you need to find the probability of queen. How many queens are there? There are 4 out of 52. Plus, how many hearts are there? There are 13 out of 52 because one suit is of 13 cards. 52 this is. Minus, how many queen of hearts are there? There's only 1 out of 52. Put it in the calculator. This would be your answer because it is not mutually exclusive. So you must first know whether it's mutually exclusive or not mutually exclusive. And then you just write the formula. If it was mutually exclusive, then you don't have this minus P A intersection B is not there. Here they have told for jack or spade the same way. Here also this is a not mutually exclusive event. How many jacks are there? There are 4 out of 52 plus spades are 13 out of 52 and subtracted by the common card, that is 1 by 52. So this is the answer. Everything is worked out here. Now probability of phi or prime number. Now how many phi's are there? There is phi out of 52. Now how many prime numbers are there? So the prime numbers are 2, 3 until 10 because 10 is the maximum number card. 3, 4 is not a prime number. 5, 7, 8, no, 9, no. Okay, this is it. There are 4 prime numbers in each suit. So entire thing multiplied by 4 times 4, it's 16. So we have to add 16 here by 52 minus, which is common, which is prime number and 5. There is only 1. So 1 into 4 is 4 by 52. So this is the thing. I'm sorry, there is only 4 5s. Okay, this is also 4 by 52. My bad. So there are 4 cards which are 5 by 52, 16 total prime numbers in a standard deck of cards minus the common 5 and prime number, it's 4 by 52. So the answer is 16 by 52. So that will be the answer. You can just put in the calculator and find in percentage or in decimal. Now, ace or black. So how many black suits are there? There are 2 suits which are black, so that means it's 26 out of 52. How many aces? 4 out of 52. And the common one is 2 out of 52. So 4 by 52 plus 26 by 52, and both ace, which is black, there are 2 spades and clubs. A drawing will take place where one ticket is to be drawn from a set of 80 tickets numbered from 1 to 80. If a ticket is drawn at random, what is the probability that the number drawn is a multiple of 4 or a factor of 12? So we need to find how many multiples of 4 are there, factors of 12, and then we have to check whether there are any common terms for these both. And then we can write the probability. So first I'll start with multiples of 4. It is 4, 8, 12, 16, and it keeps on going. You can write 72, 76, and 80. Now, it would be very hard to count in numbers, count in fingers, how many total numbers would be there. You can easily do 80 divided by 4. 80 divided by 4 is 20. So there are 20 multiples of 4. Now, what about factors of 12? So how you write this is start always with the number 1 and the number itself, because they always will be, 1 is factor of every number and the number itself is also a factor. Now, how other way can we write 12? 1 and 12, it's done. We can write in terms of 2 and 6. How about 3, 3 and 4? 5, 6, 6 is done, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, these are the factors only. You can't write, other than whole numbers, you can't write 8 times 1.5, though it is 12. No, this is not a factor. Now, what do we write over here? It's 2, 3, 4, 6. So how many numbers? 3, 6 numbers here. Do we have any A intersection B? Are there any common? Yeah, 4 is common. And what about 12 is also common? So there are only 2 common numbers. So now what we do is, we write the probability. Probability of A, I'll consider this to be A, this is B. Probability of A would be 20 numbers out of 80 plus 6 numbers out of 80 minus 2 out of 80. So these are all the probability. This is the answer, the probability of a number being drawn that is multiple of 4 or a factor of 12. You can see over here it's 20 by 80 plus 6 by 80 minus 2 by 80. That's the answer. Just put in the calculator and you'll get it. The Venn diagram shows the extracurricular activities enjoyed by the senior class at Valley View High School. How many students are in the senior class? Now here, how many are there in total? Now this would mean only drama. This would mean drama and athletics. This means all the 3 and so on. So just add all the numbers up. That's it. It'll be 38 plus 30 plus 51 plus 10 plus 4 plus 8 plus 137, and just add all the numbers. That would be the total number of students. That is very important to find other probabilities. How many students participate in athletics? Now, athletics doesn't mean only this. Even if they are doing drama and athletics, that student also must be considered. So you need to add this 137 plus 4 plus 10 plus 8 divided by the total number. And if a student is randomly chosen, what is the probability that the student participates in athletics or drama? Now here, athletics or drama, look, this or is very important. Now last one is and. See, these two are important. Here, the formula would be probability of A plus probability of B minus probability of A intersection B because this is not mutually exclusive. There are students who do athletics and drama, isn't it? So you need to now find how many do athletics and how many do drama. For athletics, you need to add all the circle. For drama, all this circle. And then subtract from the students who do both. Which are those? This one, 4 and 10. Now I'll just show the answers and I'll go through it because we need to solve them. See, this is the first one, adding all the numbers: 38, 30, 51. There are 4, 10, 8, 137 and 67. That is the total number of senior class students, 345 students. Now, who participates in athletics? It'll be 4, 10, 8 and 137. The question C was the probability of a randomly chosen student being in drama and athletics. So here you need to first find how many students are in drama. So it will be 38, 30, 10 and 4. Now how many are in athletics? We just now did it a while ago, right? 159. So it will be 30, sorry, over here, what is it? 82. So 82 by 345 plus 159, that's about athletics, by 345 minus the common. Common is 4 and 10. That is the answer. This is all just for understanding. This is the important part. And what about the D question? If a student is randomly chosen, what is the probability that the student participates in only drama and band? Now this is, see, and is given. Drama and band. Now you don't need to add all this. No. Which is the common term? It's only 30, right? 30 are the students which are only in drama and band, not this one, not 10. Why? Because this includes drama, band and athletics. Only drama and band would be just 30. The answer is 30 divided by 345. So this is the final answer. And now we have another problem. Cindy's bowling record indicates that for any frame, the probability that she will bowl a strike is 30%, a spare is 45%, and neither is 25%. Now, over here, you can't do a strike and a spare. You can only do one at a time. So they are mutually exclusive. This is not impacting the probability of the other one. So what is the probability that she will bowl either a spare or a strike for a given frame? This or this. So all you need to do is understand this is mutually exclusive. So the formula is probability of A plus probability of B. This is it. Probability of A union A or, okay, or B, or this is, I'll write it up over here. So what is the probability of A? It's 30% plus 45%, and that's it. It'll be 75%. That's the answer. 75% is 3/4. Here, Dario owns 145 baseball cards, 102 football cards, and 48 basketball cards. What is the probability that he randomly selects a baseball or football card? Now here, you can see these are not these are mutually exclusive. You can't have a baseball card and a football card that is common. They're separate. So you have to just do 145 divided by the, sorry, owns, yeah, 145 divided by the total cards. You should just add them all up, and then baseball or football, right? So football, 102 divided by the total cards. So 145 by total cards are 295, adding all these three numbers, and then same thing with 102 by 295. We have about scholarships. A review committee read 3,000 application essays for one $5,000 college scholarship. Of the application reviewed, 2,865 essays were of the required length. 2,577 of the applications had a minimum required grade point average, and 2,486 had the required length and minimum grade point average. What is the probability that an application essay selected at random will have the required length or required grade point average? So there are total 3,000 applications. So these are the conditions over here. Now they want a randomly chosen paper to be or both of them. So what you do is just add them and subtract this. Why? Because this is not mutually exclusive. Because you can have both, right? Because already they have given the number, so directly it's writing. You should just write 286 pi divided by total number is 3000 plus 2577 divided by 3000, and lastly we have minus the common terms 2486 by 3000. Put it in the calculator, you will get the answer. Here we have been told Ruby's cat had 8 kittens. The litter included 2 orange females, 3 mixed color females, 1 orange male, and 2 mixed color males. Ruby wanted to keep one kitten. What is the probability that she randomly chooses a kitten that is female or orange? The litter means young newborns, of a particular animal. Here, what's the probability of orange or female? So let's find how many females are there. Here there are 2, and this is also female, so 2 plus 3, and this is male and male. So there are 5 females, 5 out of the total. So it's about 8 kittens, right? Then plus, how many orange are there? 2 orange and 1 male orange. So it is 3 divided by 8 minus, which are common. There are 2 orange females, so minus 2 by 8. So this would be your answer. Now here this is not mutually exclusive. Why? Because there is kittens which are orange and female. So that's the reason. Here we have a table that shows the age and number of participants in each sport at a sporting complex. What is the probability that a player is 14 or plays basketball? Now here we have been told age 14, so these many players are there, and basketball is the last one, so these many. So all you need to do is probability of A, let's consider all the players who are 14 years old, plus probability of basketball players minus common A intersection B. So here 14 is basically add them all up and then divide by the total number. For finding the total number, you just add the entire table. The plus probability of B would be this all divided by the total number minus intersection. Intersection is only 42 because there are only 42 which are common. So that would be the answer. When you add this all up, 106 by 300, this all up, 104 by 300 minus 42 by 300. Vicente and Kelly are designing a board game. They decide that the game will use a pair of die and the players will have to read the sum of the numbers rolled. Vicente and Kelly have created this table to help to determine the probabilities. Each player will roll a pair of die twice during the player's turn. What is the probability that rolling a pair or two numbers that have sum of 7? So pair means same numbers, 1, 1, 2, 2, all that. Or it should be sum of 7. So when you add the two numbers, it must be 7. That can be 5 by 5, 5 and 2, 6 and 1, 4, 3, 3, 4, 2, 5, 1, 6. But are they mutually exclusive? Yes, they are mutually exclusive because you can't get a pair like two same numbers and the sum won't be an odd number. It can't be 7 or any odd number, right? So it must be an even number. So that's why this is mutually exclusive. So what is the probability of having a pair? 1, 2, sorry, this is 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3. There are 6 outcomes, right? And what about the numbers having the sum of 7? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's same. So it's 6 by 36, the total possibility. You can just multiply 6 times 6, 36. Plus sum of 7 is also 6, so it's 6 by 36. And they are mutually exclusive, so nothing extra, no minus. What is the probability of rolling two numbers whose sum is an even number or not rolling a 2? Round to the nearest 1000. Sum is even number. Now see over here, there are total 36 possibilities. Half of them will be odd, half of them will be even. So basically, you can just see it one of this selection. 1 even number, 2 1 is odd, even odd. That's the thing. And what about the other things? Other one is not rolling a 2. So we should not get 2. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 2. So total 36 minus 11 will be 25. So just write that out. 18 by 36, 25 by 36. Now minus the common things. We need to find the intersection as well, isn't it? That is, the sum is even and the number 2 is not involved in it. It will be very hard to count like that, but we know half of the half of the outcomes have sum of even numbers, that is 18. So how many have 2 in that? Even number, some that will be 2, 2, 4, 2, 6, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 terms would have 2, so not having 2 would be 18 minus 5, that is 13 by 36. Or you can just count out from the table and just solve it up, that would be your answer. The table over here shows Parks and Recreation Department classes and the number of participants ages 7 to 9, from 7 to 9 years old. What is the probability that a participant chosen at random is in drama or an 8-year-old? So drama, there are 21 and this is 8-year-old. So you just have to sum up all these 8-year-old numbers and drama and then subtract from the common because this is not mutually exclusive. It'll be adding all this up, adding all this up. This drama is 100, this is 65 minus 21 by the total number is 240. How do you find this total 240? Add all the terms in this table. Again, it's another similar one. Erin is planning her summer garden. The table shows the number of bulbs she has according to type and color of flower. If Erin randomly selects one of the bulbs, what is the probability that she selects a bulb for a yellow flower or a dahlia? So this is the flower dahlia. Over here there are all these options and yellow color. So add all this and the common term is 4. Subtract that. All the worked out solutions are over here. That's the end of this particular topic. It's a lengthy one. Please make sure you understand the concept thoroughly, read the problem properly, then figure out what has been asked and solve accordingly. If you're finding these videos helpful, please do share it with your friends. If you have benefited from it, please do subscribe to my channel and hit the like button. In this video, we will learn about conditional probability. Here, the Spanish club is having a potluck lunch where each student brings in a cultural dish. The 10 students randomly draw a card numbered with consecutive integers from 1 to 10. Students who draw odd numbers will bring main dishes. Students who draw even numbers will bring desserts. If Cynthia is bringing a dessert, what is the probability that she drew the number 10? There are few important things to remember in conditional probability. There will be a condition given to you and a probability needs to be found out. Now, when you look at the last sentence, if Cynthia is bringing dessert, they have not told given or no headline words, Usually, whatever is the sentence after given is the condition, but here you cannot see anything given or anything. But you can see this. What is the probability, right? What is the probability she drew the number 10? So this is what we need to find. Now in conditional probability, we consider this to be B. Okay, the probability of B. But there is a condition that has happened, condition A. This is how we write conditional probability. What is the probability that she drew the number 10, provided there is something already happened? So she is bringing dessert has already happened. That means if she is bringing dessert, what is the condition? She picked an even number. So now if I write this condition first, probability of A is even number. She picked an even number. And the probability, what's the formula for this? It's probability of A and B divided by the probability of the condition, that is probability of A. Now what is probability of A and B? That is, an even number is picked. In this problem, they have not exactly told it's an even number, the condition is even number. They have told it's desert, but deserts are only bought by the students who pick the even numbers. So we need to understand that is what is the first probability condition event A. Now probability of A and B would be picking an even number and getting a 10. So there are 1 to 10 numbers. What is the probability of picking an even number and getting a 10? It's only 1 because 10 is the only even number and 10 itself. So the probability over here will be even and 10. Now what are the probabilities in this case? How many even numbers are there? Out of 10, there are 5 even numbers. Our total is 10. What about this? Even and 10. There is one number only. That is only the 10 divided by the total outcomes. That is total number of 10. So this is what we need to substitute in the formula now. We know the probability of A and B is 1 by 10 divided by the probability of even numbers is 5 by 10. Now this can be simplified. 5 by 10 is 1 by 2. So you can directly write it as 1 by 2. But I prefer to keep it this way. Why? Because you can easily cancel this out. And it's 1 by 5. That means 1 by 5 is 0.2, or the probability is 20%. So this is how we solve this problem. You can see here the answer would be 20% directly. Now this is a MCQ part, so you don't need to write everything in detail, just get to the answer, that's enough. These problems I'll try to do it directly. I'll write the formula. This is a very important formula. B condition A is probability of A and B divided by probability of A. So remember, we need to know what is the condition first. If the word given is there always, most of the time, that is itself the condition. Generally, whatever is given, that is the condition. It's almost always, I can say. Now let's read this. A card is randomly drawn from a standard deck of 52 cards. What is the probability that the card is king of diamonds, given that the card drawn is king? So the given that is the condition, the probability of A, that is, given A. And what is basically B? What do we want? It must be king of diamonds. Condition A, that is the thing. Condition is over here. So what is the probability of A first? The probability of A means getting a king. What is the possibility? There are 4 kings and the total cards in a standard deck is 52. It's already mentioned, but even if they don't mention, you must know it's 52. That's the probability. And what about getting a king of diamond? It's only 1 king of diamond divided by 52. So cancel this out. It will be 1/4. So it's 25%, 0.25. Now let's make sense of this for a minute. Now, what is the probability that it will be a king of diamond, given that the card is a king? So you already have only the kings, right? So there are 4 cards, isn't it? 4 cards are kings. That can be of spades, king of clubs, king of hearts, and kings of diamonds. So spade, club, heart, and diamonds. Now, what is the probability that you will pick the diamond king over here? It is 1 out of 4. This way you can even understand directly, but it's best to write this formula and solve it up, because this gets trickier in some complicated problems. But with the formula, it's much easier. So the answer over here is 25%. That's it. In a game, a spinner with 7 colors of the rainbow is spun. Find the probability that the color spun is blue, given that the color is one of the 3 primary colors, red, yellow, blue. Now, given that the condition, I'll directly write the formula. The condition is 3 colors are given out of what? 7. What is the condition? It's blue. So it's 1 out of 7. So it's 1 by 3. And you can also see that blue out of these 3 colors is 1/3, 0.33 or 33%. 15 cards numbered 1 to 15 are placed in a hat. What is the probability that card has a multiple of 3 on it, given that the card picked is an odd number? Given that card picked is an odd number. Now 15 cards are there. Here, remember, it starts from 1 to 15. How many odd numbers are there? If you do 15 by 2, half will be odd numbers. You'll get 7.5. Why? Because 1 to 15 is an odd number, right? So you need to take 14. 1 to 14. How many are there? Odd numbers, 7 are there. And 15th card is also odd number, plus 1 will be 8. Or you can count them out. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, and 15. There'll be 8 cards. So the condition of getting an odd number is 8 out of 15. So because the total cards are 15 and 8 are odd in that. Now what is the probability that the card has a multiple of 3 on it? Now here, remember, whatever we write up is and. These both, it must be a condition of both. Probability of A and B. The probability is multiple of 3 and it's an odd number. Let's write the multiples of 3. 3, 6, 9, 12, and 15. Because there's only 15 cards. So this is an odd number. Over here we have another odd number, an odd number. So there are 3 out of 15. So A and B will be 3 out of 15. Now then we solve it up. 3 by 8 is the answer. So that would be the answer for this particular situation. A blue marble is selected at random from a bag of 3 red and 9 blue marbles and not replaced. This is a very important sentence. What is the probability that the second marble selected will be blue? First, let's write the condition. A blue marble is selected. How many total marbles are there? There are 12 marbles and blue is 9 out of 12. Or 3 by 4, or it is 75%. Now, what about the above one? It is and, right? So, what is the probability of getting blue and blue? So, first time when you pick blue, we know it is 9 by 12 multiplied by second time. What is the probability of getting again second time a blue? That would be 11 by 8. Why? Because it is not replaced. The condition does not change. Getting a blue is 9 by 12 itself. But the above term, B and B, getting blue and blue would be first time 9 by 12, but second time it would be reduced by 1 because it's not replaced. 8 by 11. Now this is the thing, 9 by 12 into 8 by 11. This cancels with this. So your answer is 8 by 11. That's it. So this is how we solve this problem. It's 8 by 11. A die is rolled. If the number rolled is less than 5, what is the probability that it is the number 2? The condition over here, probability of A is less than 5. How many numbers are less than 5 in a die? There are 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Total options are 6. What is the possibility that it is 2 and it is less than 5? There's only 1 by 6, right? Because only number 2 is possible. Now here, it's 1/4. Now, in another way, you can understand this. What is the probability of getting 2 out of the first 4 possibilities? That is 1, 2, 3, 4. You will get 1/4. If 2 dice are rolled, what is the probability that the sum of the faces is 4, given that the first die rolled is odd? Now, this one is a little bit complicated because we need to know the possibility of die rolls, right? I think so. I have the possibilities over here. It's very handy to know whenever you roll 2 dice, the total possibilities are 36. And now, sum of faces is having 4. You can keep counting it. But I will tell you another method without counting it as well. First of all, first die is odd. Now, what is the possibility of getting odd die? There are 3. Now, only about the first die, okay? So, all the odd numbers. You can do one thing is count all these odd numbers. That's one way. But another way is easy to understand. We have 6 possibility. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, half of these is odd numbers, right? So, half of the time you will have odd numbers at the beginning. So it's 50%. Directly you can write it as 50%. That is the condition given. That's the first number is, first roll die is odd. Now one more thing is, the sum of the faces is 4. But here the condition is first one must be odd. So it can be 1, 3, 5. But 5 is it possible? Because 4 is, when you add 5, it's already more than 4. You need to have the sum to be 4. So only 1 and 3 is possible. Now, which are the numbers which will make this sum 4? It can't be 2. It can be 3 over here. Not 4, not 5, not 6. Here also. It can be only 1 because no other number would make the sum 4. So there's only 2 possibilities over here. 2 out of 36. There are 36 total possibilities, isn't it? You must remember this. When 2 dice are rolled, one die will give you 6 possibilities, another die also will give you 6. 6 times 6. So 36 when 2 are being rolled. If it is only one die, it's 6. So that's the sample space total outcomes. That's why it's 2 by 36. Now we basically solve this up and we do 1 time 18. So 1 time 9 times. It's 1 nines. The answer should be 1 by 9. Here it's again the similar one. We have done this before. A spinner numbered from 1 to 12, 1 through 12 is spun. Find the probability that the number spun is 11, given that the number spun was odd. Here given condition is odd, so it's just half. You can directly write half because odd numbers are half in this 12. And the probability of getting 11, that is 1 by 12. So it will be basically 1 by 12 divided by 1 by 2. So it's 1/6. 1 out of 6 chance. If two dice are rolled, what is the probability that the sum of faces is 8, given that the first die rolled is even? We just now did this similar problem. Now, first thing, see what's the given condition. It's even, so it's half. If it's odd, it's also half. And here, the sum of the faces is 8. So let's write the even numbers. It's 2, 4, 6. Now there are plenty of possibilities. What about these are only the three possible first die, right? Because we can't have 1, 3, 5. It should be even. Now here you can have 2 and 6. 2 and 6 will make 8. 4 and 4 will make 8. 6 and 2 will make 8. Is there any other possibilities? No, because you need to have even numbers at the first die and the sum must be 4. So only there is 3 possibilities. That's 3 out of 36. So here we can have 3 1 time, 3 12 times and 1 time 6 times. It's 1 out of 6. So the answer is 1 out of 6. The final question in this topic: a school picnic offers students hamburgers, hot dogs, chips, and a drink. At the picnic, 60% of the students ordered a hamburger and 48% students order hamburger and chips. What is the conditional probability that student who orders a hamburger also orders chips? Now, here in the sentence, you need to understand what is the condition. Conditional probability that a student who orders a hamburger, this is the given condition, also orders chip, this is what we don't know. See, it's question mark, right? This is what we need to find out. So here the probability, the condition, that is probability of A, is hamburger. Hamburger. And what is the condition A and B? A and B is hamburger, I'll just write H, and chips, C. This is the two things. Now we know the formula is probability of A and B divided by A, probability of A. Now let's see whether we have the given all the details. A probability of A is 60% of the students who order hamburger. Okay, 60% order hamburger. And what is the other one? 48% of students order hamburger and chips. B is the chips. That is what we need to find. Condition, right? Probability of B condition A. This is the formula, and that is 48% given over here. So basically now, this is what it is. Now just put in the calculator, you will get the answer. You need a calculator for this. So let's just check the answer here. And we will do the others, and then because this is the answer, just put in the calculator, you'll get a single digit. Now, if 50% of the students ordered chips, are the events of ordering a hamburger and ordering chips independent? Explain. Now, here 50% of the students ordered chips. Okay. Now, I don't know what's the answer we get, but anyways, if 50% are ordering chips, are the events of ordering hamburger and chips independent? No, they're not independent because they're dependent on each other. So, because they're dependent on each other, this is no. Answer is no here. If 80% of the students who ordered a hot dog also ordered a drink, and 35% of all the students ordered a hot dog, find the probability that the student at the picnic orders a hot dog and drink. Now, this is not the condition probability. Condition is already given. 80% of the students who ordered a hot dog also ordered a drink. So probability of B and A, B condition A is given, that is 80%. It's already given. Equals to what is P of A and B? That is what we need to solve. Hot dog and drink. That is unknown. I'll take it as X. What is the probability of A? 35% of the students order a hot dog. That's 35%. So how do we find probability of A and B? That is hot dog and drink. You just take 35 to the other side. It'll be 80% times 35%. Just put it properly in the calculator. You will get all these answers. So let's just look at the answers. The first one over here, it's 80%. Why they have written like this is because they have written in fractions. See, 60% is what? 3 by 5. And 48% is 12 by 25. But you just put 48 and 60, it's much easier. The question B is no. And this is over here 0.8 times 0.35. 0.8 is 80%. multiplied by 35. So these are the answers. That's the end of this topic. If you have any doubts, post them in the comments. Please try to read the question properly, understand what's happening in the question, and then solve it. A quick reminder and a humble request, if you're finding these videos helpful and beneficial, please do share them with your friends and also do subscribe to my channel. In this video, we will learn how to construct and interpret two-way frequency tables. It's about movie tickets. A movie theater is keeping track of the last 800 tickets it sold to two different movies. Of the 578 adult tickets sold, 136 of them were for the animated film and 442 were for the documentary film. This much data is for the adult tickets. Of the 222 student tickets sold, 181 of them were for the animated film and 41 were for the documentary film. Copy and complete a two-way frequency table as shown. Here they have given a frequency table, but it's incomplete. Let's complete it. Animated, adult. So you need to just see adult tickets. How many of them were for animated? It is 136, so this is the answer over here. How many were adult tickets for documentary? It was 442. The total below over here is the total adult tickets. 578, yes, it matches. What about the children ticket, the student ticket? So total were 222, so I can just write the total over here, 222. And how many were animated? In that, animated were 181, which is already given, and 41 were for the documentary. Maybe those students were forced by the adults to go to the documentary movie, I guess. So now over here, this right total is about adding it horizontally. 136 plus 181. So it'll be 7 here, 11, 1, 3. So it'll be 317. And what about this? It's going to be 483. So these are the totals horizontally, and vertically we write it over here. So the horizontal gives us the idea of the total animated movie tickets. Documentary totals are over here, and vertical totals give us the adult tickets and student tickets. And this final total is if you add the totals, total number of tickets are given. This is the two-way frequency table. Now they have asked you to construct a relative frequency table. Now this is very, very simple. It's just that each of these slots must be divided by the total number of tickets. How many total tickets are there? It's 800. This at the right side corner, right side bottom, this number, the totals, is the final total of all the tickets. So you just have to divide each and every term by 800, and they want it in percent nearest tenth. So you have to just divide it by 800 and multiply it by 100 to get percent. This cancels. Just divide everything by 800, you will get the answer. Sorry, just divide everything by 8. So that would be the answer. You need to put in the calculator and solve. Over here, it will be 100%. That's the thing, because you divide by 800 and multiply by 100. So it'll be 100%. Now please do it for all the values and make same table just like this, but you need to write it in percent. So over here 181 divided by 8, 800 into 100 makes it 8. So I'm just dividing by 8. You need to write the answer over here in another table. So that would be the relative frequency table. The last question over here, question C. Find the probability that a ticket sold is an adult ticket given that it is a documentary ticket. So it's being sold to adults, but it must be condition it's a documentary. Given that it's a documentary ticket means the condition is given, it's a documentary ticket. Now here, don't just take this. Now let's see, what is this? This is a conditional probability, isn't it? They've asked you to work out the formula. So probability of what is the condition? Condition is documentary ticket, but we need to know it's an adult ticket, A. Condition, it's documentary. That means it will be probability of adult and documentary divided by probability of documentary only. What is the total documentary over here? Total is 483. Okay, now this would be wrong. I should not take 483. You should take the relative frequency. That means you need to find the percent. 483 divided by 800 into 100. This answer must be taken here. And over here, the and one, that is Adult and documentary, it is 442 divided by 800 into 100. So we will use the calculator now. I've just typed in this equation over here. We are getting 60.375, but they have told nearest tenth. So I will write it as over here 60.4%. So the probability of the total documentary movies is 60.4. That percentage is fine. It's you just write it as 60.4. What about A and D? So now you need to just solve the next equation over here. Just change it to 442, and here you go. The answer is 55.25%. So here it will be 55.25%. Now the probability, conditional probability would be this 55.3. I need to take it as 55.3, which I forgot over here as well, divided by 60.4. The answer is 90. You multiply this by 100, you will get the percent. That is 91.55%. 91.55%. Now again, they have told it's nearest 10, so let's just stick to the nearest 10. So it's just percent. This is 3. So the final answer over here is 91.6 percentage. Here, this is the frequency table, and here we have the relative frequency table. Okay, I just realized that this cannot be the answer. When you add this up, it's not 800, it's 483. I apologize for the error. It's 483. All the other values are all right. Yeah, all the others are correct. Only this one is the error. It's 483, not 84. So this is wrong. Other than that, everything is right. So and over here we got 91.6. Here we have a two-way frequency table which is already given. Compares data about students in a class who completed or did not complete homework, and those who passed or did not pass an exam. Okay, so this is the completed homework, did not complete homework, and among the students who completed homework, who passed and who did not pass. How many students completed their homework and passed the exam? Identify whether marginal or joint frequencies are used. Marginal and joint frequency in simple understanding is marginal is at the margins, the corner endmost ones, whereas joint is the inside one, the common ones. Okay, these four blocks are joint, whereas the totals are the marginal ones. Here, what is the question? How many students completed their homework and passed the exam? Completed homework, passed the exam. It's 18 number of students. That's the answer. And which did you use? It's joint frequency, the ones in the inside. The outside ones are marginal. Next question. Raquel surveys 160 people to determine if they prefer drama or comedy movies. The relative frequency table shows the data collected from the survey. Determine whether gender is independent of the movie type preference. Explain your reasoning. Here you need to first understand this is relative frequency table. It's already done. The probabilities are already given. You can find whether data is independent or not independent by finding the joint frequencies. That's the inner part. Now, if you multiply the marginals over here, the totals, and get this value, that is the expected answer, expected joint frequency, then that would mean it is basically independent. But if they don't match, if you find the expected and actual are different, then it's not independent. Let's take a calculator and see. All you need to do is to find this drama male, just multiply the totals. That is 37.5 percentages over here, or you can take it as 0.375 multiplied with 59.4%. Don't forget the percent. Now the answer is how much? It is 22.2%. It's not matching. So I can just stop. You can try the other values. All the values should match only if they match. Now, if you want this male comedy movies, you should take the total of male and multiply it with the total of this comedy movies. And then you will get, if you get 25%, that means expected and the actual ones are same. But here it's not same. You can see the expected joint, what we expect by multiplying is not matching. So therefore it is not independent. If at all they were all same, then it would be independent. For a business report on technology use, Darnell asks a random sample of 72 shoppers whether they own a smartphone and whether they own a tablet computer. His survey shows that out of 51 shoppers who own smartphones, 9 of them also own a tablet. While out of 21 shoppers who do not own smartphones, 15 of them do not own tablets either. Find the conditional probability that shopper has a tablet, given that he or she has a smartphone, justify your answer. This is a conditional probability. We have done similar problems already many times before. Here the condition is given, whatever is after given, that is has a smartphone, so that must be the condition. What is the probability? Has a tablet, given that has a smartphone. So whatever is down must be down over here. Probability of having a smartphone, they have told over here, right? Total number of shoppers is 72. That is the total sample space divided by 72. And what is over here? How many shoppers have a smartphone? 51 owns smartphone. So 51 by 72. What is tablet and smartphone? You can see 9 of them also owns a tablet. So here 51 shoppers who own a smartphone also owns a tablet. So 9 basically. 9 out of 72. So basically cancel this out. 9 by 51 is the answer. If you do 9 by 51, you must get 17.7%. Let me just do it. Because we are taking the values in percent, I have multiplied by 100. Here it is 17.64 and they have rounded out to 17.7. If you're thinking why, because they have, see, rounded off these values. They have not taken the full values, but if you take the actual value, it should be 17.6 if you're rounding off to the nearest tenth. But they have not told the round off to anything, so it's fine. This is also the possible answer. This is the closest to it. But in the exam, it will be much clearer, so not to worry. And it's better to take the actual values, the exact values. That is much accurate. Paz asks a random sample of seniors at a high school whether they own a car and whether they have a job. The results on the survey are shown in a two-way frequency table. Paz asks that the conditional probability that a student has a job, given that he or she has a car, is 46.7. Do you agree? So we need to just check this answer. So what is the condition probability that a student has a job, given that he or she has a car? So job given car. Probability of job and car needs to be known, and probability of just car. Probability of car. So what is probability of job and car? Has a job and has a car. It is 21.9% divided by probability of car. That's over here, the total. 34.4%. Now let's just put it in the calculator. Here the answer we get is, okay, it should be 63.6%. So this is wrong. It's wrong over here. You can see 63.66, it's 63.7. You can see here 63.7%. You can see over here she has taken probability of C condition J. That means has a car condition, already has a job. So that is the mistake. We will just do this as well. If you just take probability of C condition J, that is probability of, this is the same thing, J and C itself, or C and J, it's the same thing, divided by, this is not C, probability of J. Sorry, it should be probability of J. So now the value, the first value is same, 21.9%, but over here, instead of taking this value, she has taken the job value, that is 46.9%. And then when you solve this, you must get 46.7%. You can see over here, when you solve this up, you're getting 46.7%. That is the mistake which Paz has done over here. That's the end of this topic, a simple topic. Just try to understand what exactly is a frequency table and relative frequency. And if you're thorough with conditional probability, which we studied in the previous question, this topic will be very easy as well. In this video, we will learn how to solve systems of linear equations by graphing. The initial questions are not by graphing. There are two questions by graphing. But here they have asked to state whether these equations are consistent or inconsistent, and whether they are independent or dependent. Now, you need to understand, if it's consistent, there are two cases. Consistent means you have solution. If there is consistent, there can be independent and dependent. If it's inconsistent, that is just no solution. That's it. Now, how do we understand which is what? We can directly do it in the calculator and verify. But first important thing is we should know the standard form. That is ax plus by equals c. So we need to write everything in this standard form. Leave y as it is. Let's take this to the other side. It'll be, this equation will be rearranged to minus 3x plus y is equal to 0. And the second one will be 3x goes to the other side, it becomes positive, plus y is equal to 2. Now, if you're thinking over here, can't I take y to the other side? Yes, you can. Then it'll be positive 3x minus y. If both the signs will be changed, that's fine. You'll get the same answer. You can try that. Now, this, when you solve it in the calculator, you get answers. So how will it help me to understand this consistent or inconsistent? I'll tell you in a minute. First, let's solve it in the calculator. We need to use mode, and these are equations, so it's phi. And now which option over here? It's not 3 and 4 because it's squared and cubic. No, we don't have z variables. So let's go with option 1. And here we have to type in the coefficients of x, y, and the last constant value. The coefficient is minus 3, over here it will be 1, and lastly we have 0, same thing, 3, 1, and over here 2. Once you type all the values, after pressing, if you press equal to, you'll get the answers. Now we are not bothered about the answers. They are not asking for answers. We got the solution, right? That means if you graph these two equations, they will meet at a certain point. That was at 1/3, 1. So this is, they are meeting at a point. So this means there is a solution. So it is consistent. The answer, whenever you get a solution over here, it is consistent. But what is it? Dependent or independent? To know whether it's dependent or independent, you need to see how you get the answer. It's only one point, right? One answer. That means these linear equations touch at one point and never touch again. So they're independent. Now imagine the solution, the two graphs, sorry, are overlapping. They're the same lines. Okay, then that means there are infinite solutions. Then they are dependent over here. If two lines are the same. If two lines are not going to touch anymore, only one point, then it's independent. If they don't touch at all, if they are two separate lines, then they are inconsistent. That is no solution. So whenever you get the answers, you directly tell it's consistent, independent. That's the answer over here. This is consistent, independent. Now let's do some other problem. Let's do the second one. Please remember here when you're doing it, you need to take this x to the other side. It'll be minus 1 and then y is 1. And what about the constant? It's minus 5. Minus 2, 2 and minus 10. Now here we are getting infinite solution. If you have the latest model of your calculator, then yes, you will get this. But otherwise, what's going to happen is you will get a math error. Now, in this case, you need to simplify this because majority of you might just get a math error. And what you need to do is you need to solve this up. How would you solve this? So it's up to you to choose which form you want to keep. You can just keep it as standard form because majority of the questions will be in standard form. See, it'll be x and y together and the constant. So I will write the first equation like that. I'll take this to the other side. It'll be minus x plus y equals minus 5. Now all you need to do is make one of the coefficients equal. You can either make minus 2 to minus x, or you can make minus x to minus 2x. It's up to you. Now here in this case, it's easy to multiply over here. If you just multiply 2, you will make these coefficients same, right? I'll multiply here minus 2x. But you need to multiply this 2 throughout, not just for one term. Plus 2y equals minus 10. Now look at these two equations. What are they? They are the same. That means they are the same line, literally the same line. So there is infinite solution. Every point is the solution. That means it's dependent. Here we have infinitely many solutions and it's consistent and dependent, as you can see. We can try the others. Over here you will get an answer. So it's very simple. It's consistent, independent. Let's try without solution. Okay, over here there is 0 solutions. Let's do this up. When you solve it up, you should just put 3, 1, minus 2, 6, 2, and 10. Now we are getting no solution, but many of your calculators will just give you a math error. So what do? You need to start simplifying them. Now, as I told you, see the first coefficient. Over here we had to write it in the same form. But here you need to see the coefficients and try to get them same. One of the coefficient only, not all. So let's multiply this by 2. What will I get? I'll get 6x plus 2y is equal to minus 4. Can you see that these two terms are matching, but this last terms, minus 2 and 10, they're not the same. This means they are same slope, same things, they're parallel lines. I mean, it'll start somewhere, but they will be starting at different y-intercept. That is the reason they are parallel lines. They'll never touch each other. Therefore, it's just inconsistent, no solution. That is how we solve these problems. I'll just write out the types of graphs. So if it is consistent, then it can be two things, and one more is inconsistent. I see. Now, what about consistent? It can be dependent and independent. One, two. So first, dependent would be same lines. That is the thing. Independent is something like this, and inconsistent would be parallel lines. These are the three cases. Now over here you will get, sorry, over here you will get answer in the solution. Independent is direct answers in the calculator over. That is consistent and independent. Whereas if you're getting no solutions directly, then just take inconsistent. But if your calculator is giving math error, solve it up. And if you're getting the xy same but equal to different numbers here, then it is inconsistent. They're parallel lines. But if you're getting the entire two equations same, then it would be dependent. So these are the three cases. Easily you can check the answers from the options. So these are the solutions over here. And now let's look into this real world problem. Ms. Lycan is considering buying clay from two art supply companies. Company A sells 50-pound container of clay for $24 plus 42 to ship the total order. Company B sells the same clay for 28 plus 25 to ship the total order. Write the equations for the total cost of ordering clay from each company. Here we need to understand that the weight, the 50-pound containers, right? This rate is a constant rate. How much? 24. So if you buy one container of 50 pounds, it's 24. If you buy two, it'll be 2 times 24. And it keeps on constantly changing. So that part is 24x. Whereas something that is one time payment, like the shipping cost, is just one time. It doesn't change. It doesn't matter you buy 10 containers, it's going to be the same thing to ship the order, right? That is 42. So you need to know what is the constant part and what is the varying part. Same thing with the other one. 28 plus $25. That $25 to ship is constant. Plus 28 for every container. If he buys two containers, it will be 28 times 2. That is the thing. You can write y is equal to, these are the two equations. And graph the equations on the same coordinate plane and examine the, okay, now you do not need to graph exactly because you will be given the graphs and you can easily do a table method or check the graphs. But here what they want is when will they be equal? So just solve them in the calculator instead of graphing and finding it out. Just put them in the calculator. But we need to write it in the standard form. So I'll write it as minus 24x plus y is equal to 42. Here minus 28x plus y is equal to 25. What does this mean is one graph starts from 42 high and one more from 25, and eventually both will meet at certain point. That touching point where they both are equal, the cost will be equal from both the companies, is what we want. All you have to do is type the coefficients in the calculator and press equal to. Here we get 4.25. That means if you buy 4.25 containers from both the companies, it's going to be the same rate of 144. It'll be same $144 from both the companies. That's the answer. You can see these are the equations which we got, both the equations. And from graphing, we can get the point which makes it equal. It's close to 4.125 and it's 144. You can also check by just now this is the check method. So whatever answers you get over here, if you put it back in the equation, if you put the x value, what we got x value, that is 17 by 4, it's 4.25. Put it over here in these two equations which we have got x. The y values for both must match. Now, if you're taking near to the value, if you're not taking exactly 4.25, if you put 4, it must be very close. See, you can see it's almost matching. Similarly, we have one more question over here. I'll just write the equations and then you need to do the other parts by yourselves. It's about two moving truck companies offering same vehicle at different rates. At Haul and Save, the truck can be rented for $30 plus 0.79 per mile. Whereas the rent at trucks, the truck can be rented for $75 plus 0.55 miles. So the one-time payment is $30 and over here it is $75. Whereas every mile you need to pay 0.79 in the first company, that is X, and over here it's 0.55X. If you drive for 5 miles, it will be 0.55 times 5. So this is the equations. And then we can just rearrange, write it in the standard form and graph it up. You'll get the answer. So these are the two equations. And when you graph them, you will get close to 180 plus, and you can just check that. It's 190. And when you check, see over here, they're taking a whole number and checking, but if you can also get the exact value and just choose the correct option from that. So that is the end of this topic. Again, another simple one. Please be thorough with the calculator method, and then this topic is very easy. In this video, we will learn about quadratic equations and graph them. Here you can see there are quadratic equations and graphs given. The initial problem is just to find its solutions. The solutions is when the graph touches the x-axis, as you can see over here. But look at this first problem. It doesn't touch the x-axis. There's a distance over here. That means there is no possible solutions for this particular graph. There's no solutions. And over here you can see it touches the axis exactly on one point. There is only one solution. But here the second question, it crosses at 2 points, so there are two solutions. We can take our calculators and check this out. To solve quadratic equations, you need to go to mode, phi, and the quadratic equations is given at 3. Put in the coefficients. The coefficient before x squared is 1, then we have 2, and last the constant term is 3. And you can see its imaginary solution. I means no solution. It's imaginary. Therefore, we write no solution when it doesn't touch the x-axis. We can check the next one out. All you need to do is put in 1, minus 3, and minus 10. And over here, we have phi and minus 2. You can see phi is one solution, minus 2 is one more. And what about the last one? We are not getting x1 and x2 here. If we put in minus 1, minus 8, and lastly minus 16, the solution is only x. Minus 4 is the correct answer. 1, 2, 3, 4, minus 4. But only one solution. Can you see that? It's only one x. That means it's touching the axis only at one point. Let's look into other problems. Here now they're asking us to graph these equations. So I will tell you a shortcut method in the calculator. All you need to do is type this equation out. Alpha x squared minus 10 alpha x plus 21. And now look into all the four options. You will have many different options, right? Now choose any x value. I will choose say 0. Okay. When I choose calculate at 0, what do I get? 21. We got the answer as 21. So now you should just see which of this graph touches the y-axis at 21. It's not this one. Why? Because it touches at 1. It's not this one. It touches at the negative quadrant. And over here, this is the possible answer. So you can even test by choosing some other value. I will choose 3, phi over here, calculate at phi, and I should get this answer, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, yes, minus 4. So this matches, this is the correct answer. To find the solution we just now saw, it is just mode phi 3. And over here we can see it's 3 and 7. That's how easily you can solve them up. Please do these problems by yourselves. They are also very straightforward. Now again the same ones, over here the graphs and the solutions are there. Here you can see there is no solution, no real solution, because it does not touch the x-axis. And what about this type of problems? Use a quadratic equation to find two real numbers with a sum of 2 and a product of minus 24. So that means we have two real numbers. So if I take x and y as two real numbers, when I add them up, it must be equal to 2. So let me write both these numbers in terms of 1. So x and y is two random real numbers. Let me leave x as it is. Y I will write in terms of 2. in terms of x. So I take this x to the other side, will be y is equal to 2 minus x. So I can write one number as x and one more as 2 minus x. Now I know the sum is 2, right? But if I just do over here, substitute over here, it doesn't help me because I'll get back what? The same thing over here. If I just substitute over here and start solving, x cancels, 2 will be equal to 2. This doesn't help. But they have told the product is 24. So what I do is I'll write this first number, multiply it with the second number, and I must get equal to what? Minus 24. So now it will help me to solve. I'll multiply here, it will be 2x, its distributive property, and minus x squared equals minus 24. And now rearrange this, it's minus x squared plus 2x, bring this to the other side, plus 24 is equal to 0. Now you can easily solve it up by using calculator. Let's go to mode 5 and 3 and now type the coefficients. It's minus 1, and then we have positive 2, and lastly we have 24, and the answers are 6 and minus 4. So those are the solutions, 6 and minus 4, which we got as well. And this is the equation which we got. Now here you can just take this to the other side as well, or change the signs, because this side will be 0 equals x squared minus 2x plus minus 24, sorry. So this is equivalent, that's no problem. Even if you put this or this equation, you will get the same answers. So you can try that out. Now we have one more problem similar to just now's problem. We have two real numbers. So what I'll write is one is x. One more will be, the sum is minus 15. So I can directly write minus 15 minus x. Or you can write it as x plus y is equal to minus 15. So x is equal to minus 15 minus y is equal to minus 15 minus x. And now when I multiply them, the product means multiplication. X times minus 15 minus x will be equal to minus 54. So it'll be minus 15x minus x squared equals negative 54. And you can rearrange this. We will take all these terms to the other side. 0 equals x squared plus 15x minus 54. Put them in the calculator. Once you're in this mode, if you press on, you'll come back to the same mode. It's 1, it's plus 15, and lastly we have minus 54. The answers are 3 and minus 18. So 3 and minus 18 is the answer. So that's how we solve these problems. And now here we need to find the exact roots. You can use the quadratic formula, but the best and the easy method is the calculator, because it's question number 12. You'll have 4 options. Easily solve them up. Mode 5 and 3. The coefficients of this question number 16 is 1, 6, and lastly we have again another 6. The answer is minus 3 plus root 3. You can see here. Okay, I will tell you, that's the exact answer. Let me just show you over here. Now, where does this lie? Because when you graph, you cannot exactly get the point. It'll be somewhere in between. So what we tend to do is, if we do not have the calculator, we can just tell this particular solution is lying between minus 1 and minus 2. Say it's between minus 2 and minus 1. That's what we say. And the next one is in between minus 5 to minus 4. We tell the range, we don't tell the exact value. We know it's over here now, this point. It is from 0 to 1. That's what we say. 3 to 4. But since you have the calculator, you can even find the exact value easily. So that's the thing. You can easily use the equation in the calculator and graph it up. You can select the correct graph and easily tell the answers as well, the solution. Now, if it is exactly on the point, you can directly tell it's minus 6 and 6 here as well. But otherwise, if it's in between, you can just tell a range of 0 to 1. Based on the options, select the correct answer. Now, even over here, look at the options and then select the correct answers. Now, what about these? Now, we have got the x and y values. F of x means y values, okay? Y is equal to f of x. So, we have got a table of values. How do we know where are the zeros or where are the solutions? Now, the solutions are wherever the sign changes in the y values. Now, when you graph, right? So, imagine this is the graph. Here, the sign of the y value will be minus, and over here it's plus. Whenever there is a change of sign, you have a solution. Now here it's plus, over here it's minus, that means there's a solution. Minus plus solution. So wherever there is a sign change, you will have a solution. You can see here there is a sign change here. So there is a 0 in between over here and over here in between these 2 points and these 2 points. Since it's quadratic, it's only two answers. The graph which I had drawn just now, that was a cubic graph. You won't have that. Quadratic is always a parabola. Now that is the solutions over here. These two. Same way, you can see where's the signs changing. So these two are the solutions. They're above ones. And same thing over here. From year to year, these are the solutions. And lastly over here. So you can just tell in between these values. Say it's between -6 and -5 and between -4 and -3. Same thing over here and over here between -3, 0 and between 6 and 9. Now we have to solve these equations again. You can directly do it in the calculator, mod 5 3, and you'll get these answers. It's very straightforward. Now remember here, you need to round off to the nearest hundredth as mentioned in the question. Now if you go to mod 5 and 3, you need to put in the coefficient minus half. Now when you write the fraction here, it will come like this, but that is the fraction symbol. Or you can directly write it as negative 0.5. It will automatically calculate for you. And even over here, you can write it as 2.5 or 5 divided by 2, or this fraction symbol is the same thing. Yeah, the values. And now the answers are 3.45 because nearest 100, and over here it is minus 1.45. That's how we solve these. And we have some real world problem. Use the formula h of t, the equation is given here, where h of t is the height of an object in feet. V0 is the object's initial velocity in feet per second, and t is the time in seconds. And h0 is the initial height in feet from which the object is launched. Round to the nearest tenth if necessary. Now this is the question, this is the statement, and we have to use this equation for this particular situation. Mela throws a baseball with an initial upward velocity of 32 feet per second. The baseball is released from Mela's hand at a height of 4 feet. Now initial velocity V0, height H0. Use a graphing calculator to determine how long will it take to hit for the ball to hit the ground. Now here we have this equation H0. Now how do we solve this? Minus 16t squared plus V0, initial velocity is 32, t plus height is 4. And it wants what? To hit the ground. When it hits the ground, what is this height? Height of an object. It's 0. This is the equation. Now we have to just solve this up. Use your calculator, solve it up. I've just typed in the coefficients minus 16, 32 and 4, and the answers are 2.11 and minus 0.11. Now here, this is the time. T is denoting time. Can you have negative time? So it's not possible. 2.11 seconds is the only answer. You can see over here, this is the equation and this is the answer. Very straightforward. The initial velocity is given. Substitute over here instead of V0, and a height is given. And we need to find it when it hits the ground. So just make this equal to 0. Solve it up. Similarly, over here we have Punter kicks a football with an initial velocity, upward velocity of 60 feet. Now, why this upward is important? Because it's plus. So here V0 is 60. The ball is 2 feet above the ground when his foot meets the ball. So he hits the ball when it's in air. So its H0 is 2. And use a graphing calculator to determine how long will it take for the ball to hit the ground. This h of t is 0. So solve it up. It will be minus 16t squared. Here we have 60t because over here it's 60 feet per second and h0 is 2. Make it equal to 0. Put it in the calculator. The answer is 3.8 seconds. Now make sure if you have any negative answer, ignore that. Only take the positive answer. Here we have been given the equation and the graph, and we need to tell what are the exact roots. Over here, so you can see it's in between minus 4 and 2. To find the exact roots, just use the calculator and solve it up. Now, we don't want the exact roots. We are just telling where's the range, where the exact roots lie. It's from minus 3 to minus 2. If you zoom it in, if you look carefully, The half is over here, minus 3. It's inside the half, so you can't tell minus 4. It should be minus 3 to minus 2. Same thing here. It's more than the half. It's more than 1 to 2. And what about this over here? We can see it's 3 is over here, so it's 3 to 4. And over here, it's in between. So you should just tell minus 5, I believe. Yes, it's minus 5 and it's 3 to 4. And over here also, it's 4 to 5. And this one is minus 1 to 0. Similarly, please do the others. You can even check your answers from your calculators, mode 5.3. But if you're doing this, say in calculator, what you need to do is you need to first simplify this. So square is over here minus 0.5 x squared. Then bring this to the other side, it will be plus 6x. Bring 35 to the other side, it will become minus 33 plus 18. Not 35, it's 33. So you need to solve this up and then make it equal to 0 and put in the calculator. So then you'll get the answer. Solve this up and then put it up. So it'll be 15 over here, minus 15. So that's how we would solve. If your answers are, direct, it's minus 2, minus 1, then write it directly. But otherwise, over here, it's in between 3 to 4. So you write it in between. And the same thing goes over here. And that's the end of this topic. There are plenty of questions in this, but they are very simple, the same concept, very straightforward problems. If you have any doubts, please post them in the comments and do practice more problems by yourselves. In this video, we will solve quadratic equations. Here they have asked a specific method of factoring where you need to just simplify and solve it up. You need to find two factors which multiply and then solve it up individually and get the answers. But since this is in the MCQ part, you have multiple choice questions and you can easily solve it in the calculator and choose the correct answer. Let's do it now. Select mode in your calculator and go to equation, that is option 5, and quadratics is given by option 3. And now type in the coefficients. The coefficients of x squared is 6, then it's minus 2, and last one there is no term, it's 0, and the answers are 1 by third and 0. Same thing can be done over here, the next one. But remember, you need to bring all these terms at one side. So I'll leave x squared as it is. It will be one coefficient for that. 7x moves to the other side, it becomes minus 7. And lastly, we have 0 over here. And the answer is 7 and 0. So 0 and 7 are the solutions. We have done the same thing, the same methods in the previous question as well. So please refer that as well. And even over here, use the calculator and easily solve them up. Now, these are the same. Please do them by yourselves and then check the answers. Now, we have a real world problem here. Please note similar problems way done in the question number 12 as well. Now, we will solve these questions. The length of a rectangle is 2 feet more than its width. And find the dimensions of the rectangle if the area is 63 square feet. So now length and width. But we know there's a relationship between that. Length is equal to 2 times more than width. So width plus 2 or 2 plus width. Now let me consider width to be x. So w is equal to x. What will be L? It will be x plus 2. So I have both these terms in terms of x in single variable. Or I can just write over here, this will be w is L is equal to w plus 2, and over here I can write w plus 2 instead of L. So that's also fine, but it's better to write in terms of x. Now I know if I multiply x and x plus 2, that is length and width, I must get the area of 63. So now multiply this by distributive property, it will be x squared plus 2x equals 63. Bring this inside over here, x squared plus 2x minus 63 equals 0. Now you can put this in the calculator and solve it up. We go to mode 5 and 3 and now type the coefficients. It's 1, 2 and minus 63 and the answers are 7 and minus 9. So okay, now it's not finished. You're getting minus 9. Can you use minus 9 as any length of it? It's not possible. So the only answer is 7. So the width is 7 because x is assumed to be width. Width is 7. Length will be 7 plus 2. That is 9. So 7 is the width and 9 is the length. That are the dimensions. Same way, please do try this problem and then you can see the explanations in this video. I hope you have tried this. So here they have told length and width is given over here 6 by 8 inches. Okay, they have already given are reduced by the same amount to make a new photograph with the area that is half of this original area. So let's find the area over here. 6 into 8 is 48. So the new dimensions are reduced by certain amount. Let us take that as x. So it will be 6 minus x, 8 minus x. Both are reduced by the same amount, and the area is half of this. 48's half is 24. So this is 24. Now we can easily solve it up. Distributive property and solve it. 8 times 6 is 48 minus 6x minus 8x plus x squared. Why? Because negative becomes positive, x and x becomes x squared. So let's rearrange this. It will be x squared minus 8 minus 6 will be minus 14x. We have plus 48, and let's bring this inside. It will be minus 24 equals 0. So x squared minus 14x minus plus 24 is equal to 0. Just use the calculator and solve it up. Mod 5 and 3, and the coefficient is 1 minus 14, and lastly we have 24. The answer is 12 and 2. Now which do you take it as the correct answer? Both are positive. Now look here, the first answer is 12. Is it possible for any of this to be 12? Because it's exceeding both these values. It should be less than 6 or less than 8. So 12 is practically not possible. 2 is correct. You're deducting both of these values by 2. That would make it 4 and 6. And that is correct. 4 and 6 is 24. So here you can see the answer is reduced by 2 inches. Okay. And they have not asked the dimensions, but the dimensions would be 4 and 6. The reduction by the x was by 2 inches. This is the answer. Now these problems are again straightforward in the calculator. Please use mode 5.3 and solve them up. Here are the answers to check. And the same thing over here. It doesn't matter what is the coefficients, big or small, just put it in the calculator. You will get all the answers. And that's the end of this topic. A very simple and easy topic. Please do watch the previous question as well and then continue watching this video. In this video, we will learn a method called completing the square method, which is very essential in quadratic equations. Here we have been given a quadratic equation and the c value is unknown here. They have asked us to make this equation a perfect square trinomial. What does that mean? X plus 2 the whole square. This is a perfect square trinomial. Now here you can even have minus x minus 4 the whole square. Here, how can we make that? That's from the method called completing the square, which is a simple method. All you need to remember is whenever you have x square as the first term, just write x. There must be no coefficients over here. It must be only 1. Then plus whatever the second term x is there, right? The coefficient must be halved. Halve it. So it'll be 5. 10 by 2 is 5. That's the whole square. That is the answer. And now what should have been the c value? That is the square of this, isn't it? So square it up, it will be 25. So the c value is 25 basically. So this is the answer. This is the perfect square trinomial and this is 25. If you had x squared plus 10x plus 25, this is equal to x plus 5 the whole square. And you can prove this up. Use the identity a plus b the whole square. That is a squared plus 2 times ab plus b squared. Here we have x plus 5 the whole square, isn't it? So it'll be x squared plus 2 times 5 is 10x plus 25. So it's 2 and 5, 5 squared. So we are just using this shortcut from this formulas itself. So that's why you can just remember what I just now did and you will easily get the answers. It is x plus 5 whole square and c value is 25. Now looking at this, I can say the c value will be square of half of this. 14 means 7 square is 49. And the perfect square trinomial will be, x minus 7 the whole square and 49. That is the answer. So here 49 and x minus 7 the whole square. What about this? It will be 12. It will be x plus 12 the whole square and the c value is 144. Square of 12 is 144. These are again the same ones. Please do try them by yourselves. We are to just find the C values. Here it will be half of this 2.5 the whole square. So 2.5 is 5 by 2. You square it, you will get this one. Now here it is half of 9 is 4.5. You need to square it up. 4.5 is 9 by 2 or the square. Here it is half and over here it will be 1/4. That's how we do these. And what about these problems? You can use completing the square method and do it, but just use your calculator because this is question number 14. It's MCQ part. Just use the calculators and directly solve it up. We did it in the previous videos. All you need to do is mod 5 and 3 and then type in the coefficients 1, 1 and minus 6. Sorry, minus 6 gives us the answer is 2 and minus 3 for the second one. Same way, please do the others. Over here, if I type this out, I have to type in 1, minus 4 and minus 13. And the answer I get is 2 plus root 17. And the next one will just change into minus. So we write 2 plus or minus root 17. Remember, if this is one of your options, this is the correct one then. So same way we can write these. It will directly come in your answers, but it will be two separate answers. One answer will be 1 plus root 13 by 2. One more will be 1 minus root 13 by 2. Also, if it doesn't show up in your calculator, you can always solve this up. Now, how do you solve this in the calculator? Don't put plus or minus. You need to first do 1 plus root 13 divided by 2. This is one solution, that is 2.3. And then next you need to change this up to minus and then check the answer. It's negative 1.3. But your calculator will automatically give you in this fraction form. Now we have a real world problem here. When the dimensions of a cube are reduced by 4 inches on each side, the surface area of the new cube is 864 square inches. What were the dimensions of the original cube? Now look here. They have told there was some original cube with say x dimension, side length. The surface area for that particular cube was 864. Now we have a real world problem. When the dimensions of a cube are reduced by 4 inches on each side, the surface area of the new cube is 864 inches. What were the dimensions of the original cube? Now, they have not told any details about the original cube, but they have told that was reduced by 4. So if I take this as the side length, if the original cube had side length of x, then the new one will have x minus 4 because it's reduced. And the surface area is given as 864 for the original cube. Now, what is the surface area formula for a cube? It is 6x squared. The x is the side length. Now, here we have side length. If we multiply this by 6, 6x minus 4 the whole square, it should be 864. Now we can simplify this. So let's solve this up. Divide both the sides by 6 and then take the square root. This cancels. Take square root over here on this, and then you will have x minus 4 is equal to square root of 864 by 6. This will be plus or minus. Now take the 4 to the other side. It will be x is equal to 4 plus square root 864 by 6 or minus. There are two answers. Now I will show you in the calculator. All I need to do is type this 4 plus then fraction over here. Now remember, the fraction is inside the square root. 864 divided by 6. You can even solve it up. You can solve 864 and then get the answer as well. Now this is one answer, it's 16. One more answer will be just subtracting this. Answer is minus 8. Is this possible? Minus 8 is not possible. Why? Because the dimensions can't be negative, right? So the answer will be positive answer, that is positive 16. So that's the answer. But now one more thing. If you directly substitute all of this in the calculator, 6 times x minus 4 the whole square equals 864, the original equation itself. Now if I solve this, shift and solve equals, I will get minus 8. So in sometimes you will get the positive answer, but sometimes you'll get the negative answer. The thing is, This is also a correct answer for this equation, but the calculator will not take the real life context like, oh, it should be positive or negative. No, it'll just give you one answer. So that is why please avoid that. Simplify it and then check it out in the calculator. So please avoid this direct method. Sometimes, you might get the other answer in certain cases, certain problems, you get the positive answer, but sometimes it's negative. So that's how we can solve this one. And these problems, again, straightforward. Use your calculator, mode 5 and 3, and then put in the coefficients 2, minus 3, and 1. The answers would be 1.5 for the 33rd question. Similarly, please do the others. And over here now you're getting I. That means it's imaginary. Doesn't matter. You need to just solve it up. Let me do this one over here. See, you can't have negative over here. You can't take square root negative, right? But if you go to mode 5 and 3 and solve the coefficients, 1, there is no x term at 0, and lastly it will be 24 when you bring it inside. It's 2 root 6i and minus 2 root 6i. It's plus or minus 2 root 6i. Here, this is the imaginary number, but the answer will be directly shown to you in the calculator. So this is how we can solve all these problems. Another simple topic. I hope you have found it helpful. If you have any doubts, please do post them in the comments and I'll try to get back to you very soon. We move to the last question of the part 1. In this question, we have to interpret key features of quadratic functions. Here we have been given a quadratic function and we need to find its key features. I will start with the vertex because vertex is one of the most important values to find the standard form or to understand and interpret a quadratic function. Now, x value of the vertex is given as minus b by 2a. The formula is this. We need to remember it. The b value over here is 2. So minus is in the formula. 2 times. What is a value? It's 1. And this is the answer. So now here we will get minus 1. Now if you want to find the y value, all you do is substitute over here instead of x as y. So now y is equal to the given equation x squared plus 2x minus 5, isn't it? If you substitute the vertex x value, minus 1 squared plus 2 times minus 1 minus 5, instead of x you substitute this, it will be minus 2 minus 5, that will be minus 7 plus 1 is minus 6 here. That is the vertex y-axis. So h and k is equal to minus 1 and minus 6. So this is a very important thing. What is the standard form of a parabola? It's given as y is equal to a into x minus h the whole square plus k. So now in the standard form, you can easily see which is h and which is k and find the correct answer. Now, instead of completing the square method, you can directly only find the vertex if needed. Now, I will tell you how to find the standard form directly from this equation because you have the options over here. But before that, there is maximum and minimum, right? It is very simple. Look at the quadratic function. Here you can see it is plus, isn't it? If it is plus, then it opens upwards and you will have a minimum point. So here this is minimum point. Whereas if it was, say, y is equal to minus 2x squared and something like this, it would have a maximum point because it will open downwards. Now let's look into the options. And over here, you can easily test this. How can you test this is, if you put this in the calculator and test for a certain x value, this and this should match. I will do for one problem here. I have typed this given equation as it is. Now calculate this at say 1.5. I'm getting 1/4. Now put all the 4 options. If it is in the standard form, just put this options over here. All you need to do is type it out as it is, square minus 6. And calculated the same value, you must have the same answer. Only one particular option will match and that is your correct answer. So that is the thing. But if this is not given to you, if it was just the vertex, then you have the vertex. We just now did it. It's minus 1 and minus 6. And what is this? It's positive, so it'll have a minimum point. So these are the 3 important features over here. Same way you can do the same thing Over here, you can easily tell this is having minimum point looking at it. And you can easily test which is the standard form by checking for the x value, and then the vertex can be found out by the formulas. Please do this by yourselves. It's the same method, same formula. Over here, see the formula is there, and over here we are done the same thing, and the standard form is repeated over here. Please try them by yourselves and then check the answers over here. Now, here if you're doing completing the square method, you will directly get the answer for the standard form. But this is a lengthy method and students tend to go wrong at times. So since you have the options for this question, easily choose the correct answer from the options. Same thing here. And now we will see some real world problems. The height of a firework at an amusement park celebration can be modeled by a quadratic function. Suppose the firework is launched from a platform 2 feet off the ground at a velocity of 96 feet per second. Use h of t equals this given equation where g is equal to 32 feet per second square. Because everything is in feet, we have to use the acceleration due to gravity as well in feet per second square. Now let's see what is known. G is known. What is V? Velocity is given. This is V. And the height h naught, initial height, is 2 feet. So your equation will be h of t equals minus half into 32 into 32, that is G value, t square plus 96t plus 2. This is the equation. You can put this directly in calculator, it's fine. Now write the function to represent the situation. That's what we did over here. Rewrite the function in the vertex form. Now since you will have options, you can easily check which is the correct one by putting in the calculator, just like what we did for the previous questions. And find the axis of symmetry and the vertex and interpret the meaning. Now here, you can easily find the vertex by the formula b is b minus b by 2a. It is minus b value is 96 divided by 2 times what is a value? It is 1 times 16 here, and minus, don't forget minus, so I'll just write it out over here. It's minus 16 times minus 16. Now how do you solve this? 16 5 times is 80, 16 1 times 16 6 times, and 1 time 3 times, and this minus sign cancels off, okay? So you will have positive 3 as the vertex x value. Now this is a very important one. Because it is a vertically oriented parabola, the axis of symmetry and the vertex will be at the same point, the vertex and the axis of symmetry. Here they have asked us to interpret the meaning of the axis of symmetry, right, and vertex. So vertex is basically the maximum peaking point. Now here they have told it's a firework, height over here, h of t is height and t is time. So we need to understand the y-axis is basically the height. From the vertex, the x value of vertex, we get the maximum height that the fireworks reaches. Imagine the fireworks go like this and it reaches the maximum that is at the vertex. So the maximum height can be found out by the vertex x value. And that vertex basically cuts the parabola into symmetrical parts. And this axis of symmetry, that's the thing, axis of symmetry, left side and right side are symmetrical. That means this is 3, right? Imagine a point before that, 2, and over here it will be 4. After 2 seconds, because time is given, after 2 seconds, this is basically t, because over here they have told in terms of t. 2 and 4 seconds, the height will be same for the firework. Imagine the 1, at 1 and next one is 5. The height will be the same for the firework. That is what we understand over here. Let's look into the answers. Here we have this, yes, it's the same equation, minus 16t squared plus 96t plus 2. And here we have to get the vertex form. We can easily get the vertex from the equation. We have done it in the previous questions. And here, interpret the axis of symmetry and vertex. So here it's the same thing. It'll divide into 2 equal halves, basically. And this is the thing, the maximum value. If you put the vertex back into the equation over here, instead of t, if you put 3, you get 146. That's the maximum height of the firework. Same way over here, we can solve it just like what we did a while ago. Here it is about diving. Malik is participating in a diving championship. For each of his dives, his height above the water can be modeled by a quadratic function. The diving board is 7.5 meters above. So this H naught is 7.5 above the water, and Malik jumps with a velocity of 4.18 meters per second. Use G is equal to 9.8. Here, remember, everything is in meters, therefore we use acceleration due to gravity also in meter per second square. So the equation h of t is given as minus half G is 9.8 t squared plus 4.18 t plus 7.5. Now here you can simplify this: minus 4.9 t squared plus 4.18 t plus 7.5. This is the answer. Now you can easily do the vertex form representation, which we have done. You can just compare these both and check which is the vertex form. And here, axis of symmetry and vertex, you can easily use the formula minus b by 2a and get these answers as well. So once you get the x value, if you put it back in the equation, you can find the y value as well. That is the end of all the part 1 questions. I hope you have found all my videos helpful. If you have found them beneficial, please do share it with your friends and please do subscribe to my channel. That would mean so much to me. And I would highly encourage all of you to solve more and more problems by yourselves. And if you have any doubts, any queries, please do post them in the comments and I'll try to get back to you very, very soon. I wish you all the best for your exams. Happy learning to all of you.